It's Tuesday, February 17th. Today on Your Morning Atlantic, disturbing discovery. Police in Moncton are investigating after a woman's body was found in a garbage bin. Your top news headlines just ahead.
And the growing problem of retail theft. We'll speak with Retail Council of Canada about the issue and what they're doing to try and limit losses. That's in our second hour.
And dogs on the run. The folks from Wagon Wheels Mobile Dog Gym will drop by for this week's Pet Talk segment. All that and so much more just ahead on the Tuesday edition of Your Morning Atlantic.
Good morning, Atlantic Canada. Welcome to our humble abode. It is just about to turn 6:01, 6:31. If you are in Newfoundland and parts of Labrador, we have your usual holding down the fort, Latavia.
Whoever this person is.
And then you have the two fill-ins for today. Of course, if you watched the show yesterday, you saw that Amanda was a little bit under the weather, so we have the lovely Stephanie Seacos joining us today.
Playing musical chairs this morning.
Yes.
Why not?
You know, for good measure, you know, just keep you on your toes. We do have some breaking news. Jesse Jackson has died at the age of 84. Civil rights activist, of course, a former U.S. Senator as well. So we will have more information a little bit later once that becomes available, but that is our breaking news at this time. So, you know, we're going to see a lot of memorials coming out of the U.S. because obviously a great voice during his time. So condolences to his family at this time.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but here in the Maritimes, it was a nice day yesterday.
Yeah,
right?
We've definitely seen temperatures warm up. It's going to continue to warm up as we reach midweek. That's going to be the warmest day of the week, especially for the Maritime region. Above seasonal daytime highs yet again today, and sunshine returns in the forecast. But we do have some active weather as well tracking across parts of Newfoundland. You're like, don't
don't say it. Don't say it.
No, just a bit of flurry activity, like a low chance of some isolated flurries for the Maritimes.
Yeah. Nothing unusual for February.
Exactly, pretty much. Could be a lot worse.
Definitely a lot worse for them.
Exactly. So we're taking a live look at Port de Grave. Early this morning, a dark start to your day. We do have currently -3 degrees as your current temperature. It will warm up a little bit later on, but as I mentioned, some active weather tracking across Newfoundland. So here's a look at the current temperature starting off your day. A bit colder early this morning for parts of Atlantic Canada. -12 degrees heading outdoors in Fredericton. -10 starting off your day in Charlottetown. -7 early this morning in Halifax. -2 degrees in Sydney. -13 over in Labrador City, and -3 for St. John's, Newfoundland. So here's a look at that wind chill still factoring in early this morning, but we aren't seeing any breezy wind starting off your day, so it's helping to keep things a bit warmer but still cool starting off your day. Temperatures will warm up into the afternoon. A special weather statement remains in effect for parts of Newfoundland, as well as a winter storm warning and an orange level winter storm warning now in effect as well. So here's a look at our satellite and radars. We are going to see a bit of flurry activity for parts of the Maritime region that will clear out, leaving either mainly cloudy skies, so a mix of sun and cloud. Newfoundland and Labrador still seeing a chance of some flurry activity, but for Newfoundland, looking at periods of snow remaining and becoming at times heavy into this evening. In terms of the current wind for the Maritimes, nothing above 20 kilometers per hour right now in Lunenburg as well as into Canso, 17 into Sydney, 15 in Truro. No wind gusts to report at this time. So we'll take another look at your forecast just ahead, but first a look at your local news with Stephanie.
Thanks, Latavia. A Moncton man made a sad and unsettling discovery, finding a woman's body in a bin near his home. The RCMP is now investigating the death as suspicious. CTV's Derek Haggett reports.
A horrible discovery at the very end of a Moncton street has left this neighborhood shaken.
So when things like this happens, it rattles a whole community.
The body of a woman was found inside a garbage bin at the end of High Street early yesterday afternoon. Police are treating the sudden death as suspicious.
The officer inspected the garbage can and pulled the woman out to check to see if she had any vitals, and she was deceased.
Graham Hill's roommate noticed the garbage bin right outside his door and thought it seemed odd.
He was disturbed because he went to see what it was, and when he looked in, he saw an arm. He called 911, and Ryan ended to get me because he wanted to talk to somebody. He didn't want to go through that on his own.
Her age and identity are not known, and no arrests have been made as of yet.
It's just getting crazy. Like, I mean, the town, the city, they have to do something, you know? It's between the drugs and violence, it's just getting out of hand.
The RCMP also conducted an operation a few blocks away early this morning in connection with the suspicious death investigation.
It's disturbing. We get a lot of homeless people around this area. So at the end of the road, we often get shopping carts and garbage that's been gone through, and that's what my roommate thought he had seen.
New Brunswick's RCMP Major Crime Unit is investigating. Police say an autopsy has been scheduled to confirm the woman's identity and to determine her exact cause of death. Derek Haggett, CTV News, Moncton.
The manhunt for an escaped prisoner continues in New Brunswick. 35-year-old Todd John Lewis left the Regional Correctional Center in Shediac on Friday by allegedly jumping a fence. Lewis is 5'7", about 145 pounds. He's previously been charged with weapons offenses. Police say anyone who sees him should not approach and instead call 911. Nova Scotia has lost one of its most committed activists. Eddie Carvery passed away over the weekend.
I've got no intention on leaving Africa. I'm fighting an injustice that occurred in Africa to my people.
For more than 5 decades, he fought by any means necessary to protect Africville. The African Nova Scotian community where he was born and raised was bulldozed by the city of Halifax in the 1960s in the name of urban renewal. His protest for reparations began in 1970 and would last the rest of his life.
A good part of his legacy is how we live on with that and how we carry it forward, and we carry his memory forward as a reminder of the past of Africville, but also the adversity of the community and the perseverance.
At times, Carvery lived in a tent at Africville Park, refusing to leave. In recent decades, a trailer on the property became a symbol of his fight. Carvery died at the age of 79. French officials met in Paris with a U.S.-based group that wants to move France's last 2 captive whales to a proposed coastal refuge in Nova Scotia. No decisions were made because French officials are still considering moving the orcas to a Spanish zoo on the Canary Islands, a proposal the Spanish government had previously rejected. The American Whale Sanctuary Group wants to build a 40-hectare seaside pen on Nova Scotia's eastern shore. They got provincial approval last year, but has yet to start construction, partly because it needs to raise about $15 million. French officials say a decision on the orcas would be made by the end of March, and their welfare and respect for local law would help guide the process. If you've been driving around the Halifax area recently, you may have come across a pothole or 2 or 3 or 4. Well, it seems things are bad enough that a Nova Scotia music legend has even noticed. Anne Murray took to social media Sunday, offering to fix the city's pothole problems. In a Facebook post, Murray says, "I'm going to get some sand for my car so I can start filling the potholes in the streets of Halifax." City crews in Halifax will begin work today on some temporary repairs. They'll be filling holes on Roby, Agricola, Barrington, and North Streets. Patchwork is scheduled to happen outside of peak drive times, but the city says it is possible drivers still could face some delays.
I mean, a good reason for delays, however.
Yeah.
Yes, we'd love to see the potholes filled.
Yes.
Nice to see Anne Murray weighing in too. That's when you know it's kind of.
Yeah, exactly.
That's when you know it's an issue.
Yeah, it feels like a video game driving these days. You're like, whoop, whoop.
Yes.
Trying to dodge those.
So fix it for Anne.
Fix it for Anne.
Exactly.
Let's go. So Saturday, of course, was Valentine's Day, and love was in the air, especially for hospice care. Hundreds of people in Halifax were feeling the love Saturday night with the annual gala in support of Hospice Halifax, which took place at the Westin Hotel. The evening included heartwarming stories, a silent auction, plus a dessert buffet, which I hear was amazing, Donna can attest, and live music from the Mellotones. So our colleague CTV's Suzette Belliveau emceed the event and the party, and it looks like a good time was had by all.
Kind of sad I missed this one.
I know, right?
Always looks so fun.
I know.
Always. It always looks like a great gala. Of course, there's Encore down now in the north end of Halifax that does everything you buy there goes to Hospice Halifax. It's literally in my building.
Yeah.
Danger.
Great thrift store, though. You can just go right downstairs and
I know.
take a little gander.
I know. It's terrible for my wallet. Great cause, though.
Yes.
All right, well, we will take our first break this morning, and up next, a first look at your national and international headline news on this Tuesday morning. Also, Latavia will have our first full look at the forecast for this Tuesday. But first, here's a live look at Antigonish this morning. A little dark still out there, maybe a little slick on the streets as well. Stay with us. Your Morning Atlantic will be right back.
Good morning, Atlantic, Canada, and happy Tuesday. The time now is 6:13. We're taking a live look at Hampton. A cold start to the day, currently minus 13 degrees in your area, and then factor in that wind chill, but temperatures expected to warm up a little bit later on. Weather is brought to you by the Atlantic Lottery mobile app. We are going to see a cooler start to the day. Temperatures will rise a little bit later on. As of right now, minus 14 degrees in Fredericton, minus 12 in Charlottetown, minus 8 degrees in Halifax, with minus 3 starting off your day in Sydney and St. John's, Newfoundland. We do have watches and warnings in effect because we have heavier snowfall heading into Newfoundland. A special weather statement for Wednesday morning until this weekend. We are expecting snowfall at around 15 to 25 centimeters of accumulation, wind gusts between 50 to 70 kilometers per hour. A yellow level winter storm warning in effect tonight until Wednesday night, looking at around 25 to 35 centimeters of snowfall and wind gusts between 70 to 100 kilometers per hour. And then an orange level winter storm warning in effect for tonight until Wednesday night, 25 to 50 centimeters of snowfall and wind gusts of 80 kilometers per hour. Here's a look at our forecast timeline. So we are going to start off the day with a bit of sunshine for the Maritime region as the sun begins to rise. We do have a bit of flurry activity early in the morning for parts of the Maritime region and parts of Labrador. Then into the afternoon, we start to see that clear out. You can see that sunshine for parts of the Maritime region and going to see some heavier snowfall moving in to Newfoundland as we inch towards this evening. So snow at times heavy with blowing snow. And for the Maritime region, we are going to see a bit of flurry activity and light snowfall move in for parts of the Maritime region, taking us into Wednesday's forecast, looking at some lighter snowfall and a bit of flurry activity for parts of the Maritimes. If you're wondering about snowfall accumulations, at around 1 to 5 centimeters for parts of New Brunswick and well, actually all three maritime provinces you can see here in Amherst and into parts of Prince Edward Island. So for Newfoundland, Labrador, looking at around 1 to 5 centimeters for Labrador City and 1 to 10 centimeters expected. But for the most part, that will become heavier for parts of St. John's, Newfoundland. Looking at around 15, could get up to 35. Here's a look at our forecast today for New Brunswick. Daytime highs will range from -1 to 3 degrees for Woodstock. Mainly sunny skies. We will be seeing flurries move in into the evening and pretty light wind expected. Prince Edward Island looking at highs between -2 to -1. We do have a mix of sun and cloud. Flurries arrive yet again into the evening. And then for Cape Breton, eastern Nova Scotia, daytime highs between -1 to +1. Mainly cloudy skies expected throughout your day today. And for the rest of Nova Scotia, highs will range from -1 to 3 degrees for Shelburne. A mix of sun and cloud. Flurries expected into the Tri-County area into the evening. For Labrador City today, a high of -3 degrees. We do have a chance of some flurry activity, and 1 degree for St. John's, Newfoundland. Flurries transition over to heavy snow into the evening. Wednesday's forecast, the warmest day of the work week for the Maritime region, way above seasonal for our daytime highs. We are expecting, though, a wintry mix moving in for all three Maritime provinces. For parts of Newfoundland, looking at that heavier snowfall, blowing snow, and for parts of Labrador, looking at some light flurry activity yet again. Wednesday night, pretty much the same, but we start to see the Maritimes clear out of that mixed precipitation, still leaving a flurry activity, though, into early Thursday morning. So that's a look at your weather forecast. We'll throw things over to Stephanie.
Thanks, Latavia. The RCMP has completed its investigation into last week's deadly mass shooting in British Columbia. Tumbler Ridge Secondary School has now been turned back over to the local school district. Portable facilities are now arriving in the remote BC community to allow children to return to class. It's expected to take several days to set up the units with heating and furnishings. 5 students and a teacher were fatally shot at the school last Tuesday after the attacker killed her mother and half-brother at their home. The shooter then took her own life as police arrived. Meanwhile, south of the border, police in Rhode Island say 3 people are dead, including the suspect, after a shooting at an indoor hockey rink during a game between 2 high school teams.
Upon arrival, police were met with several people, obviously inside the arena, and there was 2 casualties within the arena. The suspect was confirmed as one of those casualties.
Police received a call around 2:30 local time about an active shooter at the rink. Authorities believe the shooting was a targeted attack stemming from a family dispute. The game was being live streamed and gunshots could be heard in the background of the video. A high-powered Canadian delegation landed in Mexico City Monday for the largest trade mission to Mexico in decades. The goal to lock in stronger bilateral ties as U.S. President Donald Trump threatens to rip up CUSMA. The visit coincides with Ottawa naming a new chief trade negotiator to take on Washington. Here's CTV's Rachel Aiello with what's on the table in Mexico.
Hundreds of delegates representing businesses and key sectors across Canada are taking part in the biggest trade mission to Mexico in decades.
Here, we have the tremendous opportunity to start to work in this direction.
Led by Minister Dominic LeBlanc, Canadians are meeting with Mexican government officials, policy experts, and industry leaders to forge new alliances.
It's a long time coming. This is an opportunity to go well beyond where we have been.
But the mission is also an opportunity to strategize ahead of this year's mandatory review of the Canada-United States-Mexico agreement. Given President Donald Trump's threats to tear up the trilateral trade pact, a deal that has shielded most Canadian and Mexican commerce from tariffs, Team Canada is looking at bilateral relations with Mexico in new light.
We haven't actually leaned in to what CUSMA, our trade agreement, affords us, and we just have not invested in building the relationships or educating ourselves or connecting those businesses.
Merchandise trade between Canada and Mexico has increased 12-fold since the original NAFTA came into force. But business leaders see potential to gain more market access.
We have some really cool meetings set up.
It's important for us to be here on the ground and see if there's potential for our producers to expand their export to Mexico.
With that joint CUSMA review coming in July, the Prime Minister announced today longtime senior public servant Janice Charette will become Canada's next chief trade negotiator to the United States. Charette will work alongside Mark Wiseman, Canada's ambassador to the U.S., who just started in D.C. this week.
Of course, she's an incredibly experienced and seasoned bureaucrat and diplomat. This is exactly what we need.
Reacting to Charette's appointment, the Conservatives disagreed, saying what Canadian workers need is a deal and not another negotiator.
Time for a quick break. When we return, your must-see moment from our colleagues at TSN. Your Morning Atlantic will be right back.
Move Mornings with Aaron and Peter. Weekday mornings on Move 100. The most fun in the morning. And home of the $1,000 minute. Only on Move 100 Halifax.
Yeah, 1970.
Also, you're not supposed to do laundry today or tomorrow for Chinese New Year because it's an insult to the water demon.
Okay.
Good to know,
Good
right?
to know, yeah.
Yep, so don't do laundry today. Don't use those sulfates. But now it's time to check in with our friends at TSN for Sports Center's today's must-see moment. Wow, that's a mouthful.
Welcome inside the Sports Center newsroom. Adam Scully here with your must-see moment from Monday. And for it, we're heading to Kelowna for some WHL action. Tri-City Americans taking on the Rockets. Second period, Tri-City 2-on-1. Check out the save by Josh Bonini. highway robbery. Bonini showing off his acrobatic moves to get across, making the highlight reel save. That is your must-see moment from Monday. Tuesday on TSN, you can see men's NCAA basketball when North Carolina visits NC State. Coverage starts at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific. That's all from the SportsCenter newsroom. Have a great day.
This TSN must-see moment brought to you by J.R. Rahe's Furniture and Appliances.
Taking a look at our 3-day forecast for New Brunswick, a high of 2 degrees today. We do have sunshine. Also going to see scattered flurries move into the northern region this afternoon. On Wednesday, a high of 1, looking at periods of snow. And then on Thursday, 2 degrees as your daytime high, a mix of sun and cloud across the province. For Nova Scotia, looking at a high of 2 degrees. We do have sunshine in the forecast, evening flurries. And then on Wednesday, the warmest day of the week, 4 degrees is your daytime high and light snowfall across the province. And then on Thursday, looking at sunshine for the most part, but we do have some scattered flurries returning to the southern region of the province with a high of -1. Prince Edward Island, -1 degree today with a mix of sun and cloud. Flurries arrive into the evening. On Wednesday, 0 with snow, transitioning over to lighter flurries into the evening. And then on Thursday, -2 with scattered flurries.
Coming up this half hour, the Move Morning Chat. Today, we want to know when you first felt old. Yes, admit it, we've all had that moment or moments. We'll bring you that discussion in about 15 minutes on Your Morning Atlantic.
Thanks for being with us on this Tuesday, February 17th morning. It's feeling a little bit warmer out there this morning, and there's a lot going on. It's Lunar New Year, it's Shrove Tuesday, so I'm sure lots of people will be indulging today in some pancakes, perhaps, as
Pancakes
it's
for dinner.
Informally known Pancake Tuesday.
Yes.
Pancake Tuesday. Literally, growing up, I grew up Catholic, so we always had pancakes for dinner on Shrove Tuesday. It was the best. Is tomorrow Ash Wednesday then?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So I was like, I grew up Catholic. Is tomorrow?
Yeah, so for anyone who needs some dinner inspiration tonight,
exactly.
If you're breakfast for dinner,
Breakfast
it's
for dinner.
always a good idea, but especially on a day like this.
Yes, absolutely. I knew a guy who would only eat proper meals at proper meal times. So like no breakfast for dinner. Like breakfast had to be breakfast, lunch had to be lunch. I was like, no, you gotta mix it up sometimes.
You have to.
I love breakfast for dinner.
It's so good, and it feels so special every time.
Yeah, it really does, especially when it's something extravagant like the pancakes. Like I look at those egg commercials and I'm like, I eat eggs for dinner all the time.
Yeah.
Because that's something I always have in my fridge. But like something like pancakes, you're like, yeah.
So elevated.
Is it going to be a nice day for pancakes?
Why not? Yeah, it's going to be quite nice in the mirror.
Always is.
Always, no matter what the weather is. Here's a live look at Moncton. It is a bit cooler starting off the day. Not really for Moncton, though. -4, that's pretty typical. But we are seeing colder temperatures across the board. As of right now, -14 degrees in Fredericton, -12 in Charlottetown, -8 degrees early this morning in Halifax, -3 in Sydney, as well as into St. John's, Newfoundland. And then factor in that wind chill, going to feel a lot cooler, but temperatures really going to rise for the maritime region, at least for our daytime highs. Newfoundland, Labrador, cold to start, but temperatures will rise for you as well. In terms of the special weather statement in effect, it remains for parts of Newfoundland. This is for Wednesday morning until the weekend. We do have a winter storm warning also in effect, and an orange level winter storm warning for parts of Newfoundland. So here's a look at our satellite and radar. We are going to see a bit of flurry activity early in the morning, clearing out for the most part, leaving either mainly cloudy skies to a mix of sun and cloud. And then for parts of Newfoundland, we are going to see that snowfall become heavier into the evening hours. In terms of the wind, for all 3 maritime provinces, remaining quite light yet again today. As of right now, 22 kilometers per hour in Canso, 11 into Sydney, 13 in Grand Etang and in Edmundston. No wind gusts to report yet again. So we'll take another look at your long-range forecast just ahead, but first a look at your local news with Stephanie.
Thanks, Latavia. A Moncton man made a sad and unsettling discovery, finding a woman's body in a bin near his home.
He was disturbed because he went to see what it was, and when he looked in, he saw an arm. he called 911 and ran in to get me because he wanted to talk to somebody. He didn't want to go through that on his own.
The woman's body was found at the end of High Street early Sunday afternoon by Graham Hill's roommate. The RCMP is now investigating the woman's death as suspicious, and the Major Crime Unit is investigating. Police say an autopsy has been scheduled to confirm the woman's identity and to determine her cause of death. We'll get a better idea today about New Brunswick's financial situation. Across the region, all three maritime provinces are carrying massive deficits. But in New Brunswick, the situation is so dire, it's sparking concern for the future of jobs and services. CTV's Laura Brown has more.
10 years ago. The Susan Holt government will unveil its third quarter financial results tomorrow, and they're more anticipated than usual, not in a good way. The opposition believes the deficit is over $1 billion, which has some very nervous.
When they visit museums, what you're actually visiting is your history. It's the memories of the people that have come before us and who created this beautiful province that we call home. And those collective memories are at risk.
2 weeks ago, the province released possible ways to save or make more money in order to combat the rising debt. They asked for input through an online survey. Association Heritage New Brunswick has read between the lines of that survey, concerned museums are on the chopping block.
It sets up the question about heritage in a way that makes people think they have to choose between healthcare and heritage, or healthcare and museums. You know, what's more important, hospital beds or funding heritage? And that's a very unfair way of asking a question.
She also doesn't feel the whole government has given people enough time. New Brunswickers have until Friday to submit their input. Other nonprofits are worried too. The Federation of Woodlawn Owners sent out an email asking members for their support when answering the survey. During an interview with CTV Atlantic anchor Todd Battis, former Premier Sean Graham warned what the whole government can't do is nothing.
When we made cuts under our budget, we had to freeze salaries, but we also had to cut services. And if you recall, we tried to cut the ferry services that were being offered under the Department of Transportation, and everyone was up in arms at that time across New Brunswick.
The actual budget will be tabled 1 month from tomorrow. Laura Brown, CTV News, Fredericton.
A showdown appears to be looming over the old Halifax Forum. It has been a fixture in the north end of the city for more than a century. And despite a growing price tag, at least one group is urging the city to redevelop the facility. Still, the mayor has said a more affordable plan is what's needed.
There is a way, if we let go of the Forum, that we leverage the value of that land to build a 2-pad or even a 3-pad elsewhere at a lower cost because it's new construction. And I got a ballpark estimate from a builder who builds these things yesterday that a 2-pad, depending on the bells and whistles, would be between 40 and 45 million.
There's over 400,000 people that visit this facility for non-ice related events every single year. Be that graduations, flea markets, farmers markets, bingo.
Municipal budget discussions resume at council this week. 80 years ago this month, a group of intrepid and no doubt nervous young women set sail from Liverpool, England to Halifax. It marked the beginning of one of the most unprecedented immigrant waves to hit Canadian shores. About 1,800 European war brides and 900 children arrived in New Brunswick during the Second World War, most in 1946. Doreen Lawrence arrived in 1945. She was a guest of honor Monday at the official opening of a new exhibit honoring war brides at the New Brunswick Military History Museum at 5th Canadian Division Support Base, Gagetown.
Went to Newfoundland first because we dropped off a regiment from Newfoundland, and then came on to Halifax the next day. We stayed in Halifax overnight at a Red Cross hospital. Red Cross was very good to us. Everything was so well organized.
Once those ladies got here to New Brunswick, they embarked on a new life. They started families, and their ultimate contribution to Canada, I think, is that they became good Canadian citizens. It's a story of passion, romance, love.
The museum says the new exhibit is a culmination of almost 40 years of work.
That's amazing.
So nice too to see, you know, all the old pictures too from the time, hearing the stories from families who have come over.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Honestly, that's amazing. If you haven't been able to check it out, I mean,
it just opened, so yeah, lots of time to head over there and, you know, learn the history, see, you know, what they went through. It's incredible.
It is incredible.
More brides, wow.
I know, right? You think back and you're like, oh.
I couldn't even imagine their stories and what
whole new life
right?
coming over here.
Yeah. I honestly, my favorite thing about going to any city is going to a museum and just and seeing some of like their history and then their culture and then just like seeing what everybody's stories are. I guess that's why we do what we do, because we like to tell stories and hear about stories, right?
Exactly.
I love it. All right. Well, they obviously felt a little bit older going back over their memories, but that is the topic of conversation for our Move Morning Chat this Tuesday. Is when do you feel old? What was that moment? So we will find out in just a few minutes. Stay with us.
Welcome back. The time now is 6:41. We're taking a live look at Charlottetown. Early this morning, it is -12. Heading out, factor in that wind chill, feeling like -16. You will be seeing a cloudy start to your day before clouds clear, leaving sunshine into the afternoon. We are going to see sunshine sticking around for parts of the region, helping to warm things up a bit into the afternoon. But as of right now, it is -14 degrees in Fredericton, -7 in Halifax, -3 degrees starting off your day in Sydney, -7 over in Happy Valley Goose Bay, -5 degrees into Gander. A special weather statement in effect for Wednesday morning until this weekend for the central and northeastern region of Newfoundland, looking at around 15 to 25 centimeters of snowfall. Wind gusts getting up to 70 kilometers per hour. A winter storm warning also in effect for tonight until Wednesday night. Could see around 25 to 35 centimeters of snow, and looking at wind gusts ranging from 70 to 100 kilometers per hour. An orange level winter storm warning in effect for tonight until Wednesday night. Snowfall at its heaviest, 50 centimeters expected, wind gusts of 80. Over to our forecast timeline. A bit of flurry activity for parts of the region early in the morning, and then clearing for the Maritime region, leaving sunshine into this afternoon. We will be seeing that heavier snowfall make its way over into parts of Newfoundland into the evening hours, and then also seeing some light snowfall move in for the Maritimes. If you're wondering about snowfall totals, looking at around 1 to 5 centimeters of accumulation for parts of all 3 Maritime provinces. For Labrador City at around 1 to 5 centimeters of accumulation, 1 to 15 for parts of Newfoundland. Taking a look now at our forecast for New Brunswick, daytime highs will range from -1 to 3 degrees, being the warmest into Woodstock. Seeing a bit of flurry activity clearing into the afternoon, leaving lots of sunshine across the province. Prince Edward Island, highs between -2 to -1. A mix of sun and cloud today. Flurries arrive into the evening. And then for Cape Breton, eastern Nova Scotia, looking at mainly cloudy skies with highs between -1 to +1. Pretty light wind expected as well. For the rest of Nova Scotia, looking at that sunshine throughout the day. Flurries arrive into the western region in this evening. Daytime highs between -1 to 3 degrees, being the warmest into Shelburne. And then for Labrador City, a high of -3. We do have a chance of flurries throughout your day today. St. John's, Newfoundland, looking at a high of 1. Flurries will transition over to heavier snowfall into the evening, as well as some blowing snow. For our forecast on Wednesday, going to be the warmest day of the work week. We are going to see temperatures rise, but we do have mixed precipitation for all 3 Maritime provinces. And for Newfoundland, Labrador, also going to see that heavier snowfall later for parts of Labrador. Then into Wednesday evening, we start to see the system slowly clear out of the Maritime region. Still dealing with some flurry activity, though, into early Thursday morning and into Thursday afternoon as well before clearing out. That's a look at your weather forecast. We'll flip things over to the Move Morning Chat.
It's the Tuesday edition of the Move Morning Chat with Aaron and Peter. Today we're talking about when you realize you're not as young as you used to be. I hate to ask the story behind this one.
Well, you know, it does kind of just hit you out of nowhere and you're going, oh, I'm just a little bit older than, you know, I realized. And if I'm being completely honest, I have this conversation that we have together, the Move Morning Chat, to thank for this realization. I was looking back at some of the conversations we had on the show while Peter and I were broadcasting live in Turks and Caicos. And there must have been a few days where I was kind of in the sun. The sun was in my eyes, so I was squinting a little bit. And I was zooming in on my forehead going, oh my gosh. You know, my forehead has seen some things and it's clearly documenting all of it. I'm thinking, I'm Googling, you know, Botox clinics near me now. Like it's a Band-Aid that I haven't ripped off quite yet. And I'm realizing, thanks to this conversation, it's hitting me. I'm not as young as I used to be, and I should probably go in for an appointment or two to take care of that.
For me, I have to tell you that, I mean, I'm reminded of this almost daily. Like this morning, for example, when Google decided it would be a good time to offer me a collage of pictures of me 20 years ago and me from this past weekend. And I'm going, 20 years? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Couldn't you do 5 years, maybe even 7, 8, 20 years, Google? That's not fair. So, yeah, just this morning it hits me, and believe me, something new comes along every single day.
Well, now that you say that, Peter, you know where I was 20 years ago? Graduating high school.
No. Don't do that.
I know. Didn't I just have my 10-year high school reunion? 20 years, which is hard to believe. On top of that, for Christmas, my 17-year-old niece, Georgia, when I asked her what she wanted for Christmas, she told me she wanted a vintage Y2K Coach purse. Vintage, early 2000s. And I'm not used to hearing the word vintage in my millennial generation, which is something I'm going to have to get used to.
Clearly, we have to.
Yeah.
Something that made, first of all, Erin, I agree with you. I looked in the mirror the other day and I was like, oh, it's time. My birthday's right around the corner. I'm like, I was telling Matt, I'm like, I think it's time. It's time for me to do that. Anyways, what reminded me is kind of similar to what your niece said. It's, oh, we're bringing back Hollister. We're bringing back all these vintage looks. I'm like, dude, those like clothes I wore in high school. It's not that far away. And then I think about it, I'm like, oh, I guess it's that time.
Yeah,
I guess.
Yeah, back when you had to carry your phone and your camera separately, and your phone was a flip phone as well. Oh boy, I don't know if we want to hear these answers, but we are asking, what was the moment that you realized you were getting old, you're not as young as you used to be? 10400 is the number. You can send us a text. We will share your answers later in the show.
The #1 morning show in Halifax. Turk, Megan, and Amateur Alex. And home to the biggest artists. Halifax's #1 hit music station. 101.3 Virgin Radio.
Time now is 6:51. We're going to head over to Hollywood. Take a look at your entertainment headlines.
Hollywood is mourning the passing of legendary actor Robert Duvall, who passed away at the age of 95 on Monday. Duvall's widow's co-star Viola Davis posted on Instagram Threads saying, "I've always been in awe of your towering portrayals of men who were both quiet and dominating in their humanness. You were a giant. An icon."
It was like a fantasy.
Tonight, catch John and Carolyn, Love, Beauty, and Loss on ABC. The new one-hour special chronicles the relationship between John F. Kennedy Jr., the son of the 35th President of the United States, and his wife, Carolyn Bessette Kennedy. The special airs tonight at 10 p.m. Eastern and will stream tomorrow on Hulu and Disney+. Disney is the parent company of ABC, Hulu, and ABC News.
Squidward, want to hear my big news?
Let me go mark some time on my calendar.
SpongeBob is coming back to the silver screen. The SpongeBob movie Search for SquarePants will premiere on Paramount Plus today. And happy birthday to Michael Jordan. The NBA Hall of Famer is 63 today. That's what's happening in Hollywood. Melissa Adon, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Happy birthday to the GOAT. Anyways, so they say when you're in Rome, do as the Romans do, right? Well, my friend Paul is over in Italy helping with the Winter Games coverage, and he decided to head to Venice. So do what the Venetians do?
Might as well.
Well, not literally. He just took in the footage for us. The 2026 Venice Carnival takes place from the 7th to the 17th of February, so today is the last day. The Venice Carnival is 95% made by masked and costumed people who are here again this year for the world event. So lots of people who are over in Milan for the Olympics are heading over to Venice, especially before it sinks.
Why not?
Right?
Yeah. Hurry, hurry. All right, new season, same passion. The Toronto Blue Jays hit the field at Dunedin in Florida, giving us a first glimpse at the team since a heart-pounding World Series.
Yes, so CTV's Sean Lathong caught up with fans about the excitement around spring training.
The team that Canada fell in love with is back. The first full day of workouts at spring training for the Toronto Blue Jays, and fans are gathering here in Dunedin just for a glimpse.
Still have the high of the World Series, the playoffs.
Anticipation and a lot of hope for the season.
You know, there's always hope, and so it's a new hope.
The last time fans saw this team together on the field was the heartbreaking extra innings loss in Game 7 of the World Series. Claudia Sanders came down from Toronto and is one of many fans who see this as a sequel to 2025.
When you lose, you learn a lot, and you come back even harder.
But now is the beginning of a new season, and the team has added new players like early fan favorite Japanese star Kazuma Okamoto, while the experience of last season has moved some players into the spotlight.
What got you with the Blue Jays?
Ernie Clement, yeah, pretty much.
Players like Ernie Clement and Addison Barger are expected to play a bigger role, as being defending American League champions comes with expectations.
I love the expectations. That's why we do it. And I think the guys we've talked about it so much in the off season. It's nice to see everyone, really. It kind of just gets you back to what you were doing at a really, really high level last year.
The team's leader, Vladimir Guerrero Jr., is now the longest tenured Blue Jay and says he's confident this team can produce.
I think it's going to be more fun, but I'm actually more happy than last year.
And while the team beat expectations last year, now the fans want more.
Maybe make it back to the World Series, dominate the Dodgers.
Just win it all. We want it all.
But today is just day one, with a long road back. So while today was full of hope with a bit of nostalgia, reality hits on Saturday when the Blue Jays start their preseason here at TD Ballpark in Dunedin. Sean Lathong, CTV News.
Happening now, a disturbing discovery was made in Moncton. Police there are investigating a suspicious death after a woman's body was found in a garbage bin. Also, remembering an activist, Eddie Carvery of Africville has passed away at 79 after spending decades fighting for reparations. And signs of spring, potholes are already popping up across the region, and a Nova Scotia music legend is weighing in on the situation. Those details coming up in your local news headlines. But first, the 3-day forecast with Latavia.
Thanks, Stephanie. Starting off in New Brunswick, a daytime high of 2 degrees today. We do have some scattered flurries for the northern region, clearing out, leaving sunshine across the province. On Wednesday, a light snowfall across the province with a high of 1. 2 degrees on Thursday with lots of sunshine. Nova Scotia looking at a high of 2 degrees. We do have a mix of sun and cloud today. Flurries arrive for parts of the province into the evening. And then on Wednesday, 4 degrees with light snowfall. And on Thursday, -1, a mix of sun and cloud with scattered flurries for Cape Breton. Prince Edward Island looking at a high of -1 today. Clouds clear, leaving sunshine, evening flurries. Wednesday, 0 with snow transitioning over to flurries. And Thursday, -2 with scattered flurries.
It's Tuesday, February 17th. Today on Your Morning Atlantic, disturbing discovery. Police in Moncton are investigating after a woman's body was found in a garbage bin. Your top news headlines just ahead.
And the growing problem of retail theft. We'll speak with the Retail Council of Canada about the issue and what they're doing to try and limit losses. That is coming up.
Good morning, Atlantic Canada. Thank you so much for joining us. It's Shrove Tuesday. Pancakes for all.
Pancakes for all.
I wish I had pancakes.
Okay, this is like a debate that goes on the ages, right? Real Canadian maple syrup or the processed stuff?
It has to be real.
I mean, I usually end up buying the fake processed stuff.
I'm not gonna lie though. Yeah,
that's what's in my cupboard, but...
What is it, Aunt Jemima, I think I have?
Yeah, for that, yeah. But so I grew up in Ottawa, and so right next to Quebec, which is like the main source of real Canadian maple syrup. So I would always go down to the market and like pick up the giant tins of it. Like I just remember my father like refilling like old plastic bottles, but it was always with real maple syrup. Yes. So like to this day, I literally cannot have the fake stuff. So I will spend the $35 on the real Canadian maple syrup because like that is just like nostalgia and like that's just what I need in my life.
It's drastically different too when you taste like the real stuff versus like the processed stuff. Yeah. So I can understand where you're coming from.
Well, and there's always like Winterlude Festival in Ottawa, so you get to like have it on the snow and like Bonhomme de Neige over in Quebec. So like it was just like such a part of winter and growing up that it's just like got to be the real stuff.
That's fair.
And that's all I got for you. That was my question for you both. And for you.
Yeah, if you're having pancakes today.
Yeah.
What's your topping?
All right, so cold day for pancakes, warm day for pancakes.
It depends on where you are. If you're in the Maritime region, it's a bit warmer. It's starting off cold, but temperatures really warming up above seasonal yet again. So starting off in Yarmouth, -8 degrees. We'll be seeing lots of sunshine throughout your day, though, before flurries arrive into the evening. So starting off -14 degrees in Fredericton, -12. Starting off your day in Charlottetown. Early this morning, -7 in Halifax. -14 degrees in Labrador City and a -5 over in Gander. Factor in that wind chill, so it is going to feel cooler this morning than even yesterday morning, but temperatures will rise yet again, so don't you worry. And cold over in Newfoundland and Labrador as well. So over to the special weather statement in effect for parts of Newfoundland. This will be sticking around Wednesday morning until the weekend. We do have a winter storm warning also in effect with an orange level winter storm warning as well. Taking a look at our satellite and radar, a bit of flurry activity for parts of the Maritime region, clearing, leaving sunshine for the most part. Newfoundland and Labrador also going to see some flurry activity, becoming heavier snow for parts of Newfoundland. Here's a look at the current wind for all 3 maritime provinces, remaining light throughout your day. As of right now, 22 kilometers per hour for sustained wind in Canso, 17 in Halifax, 13 in Yarmouth, as well as into Edmonton and Grand Etang. No current wind gusts to notify you of as well. We'll take a look at our long-range forecast just ahead. First, a look at your local news with Stephanie.
Thanks, Latavia. A Moncton man made a sad and unsettling discovery, finding a woman's body in a bin near his home.
He was disturbed because he went to see what it was, and when he looked in, he saw an arm. He called 911 and ran in to get me because he wanted to talk to somebody. He didn't want to go through that on his own.
The woman's body was found at the end of High Street early Sunday afternoon by Graham Hill's roommate. The RCMP is now investigating the woman's death as suspicious, and the Major Crime Unit is investigating. Police say an autopsy has been scheduled to confirm the woman's identity and to determine her cause of death. The manhunt for an escaped prisoner continues in New Brunswick. 35-year-old Todd John Lewis left the Regional Correctional Center in Shediac on Friday by allegedly jumping a fence. Lewis is 5'7", about 145 pounds. He's previously been charged with weapons offenses. Police say anyone who sees him should not approach and instead call 911. Nova Scotia has lost one of its most committed activists. Eddie Carvery passed away over the weekend.
I've got no intention on leaving Africa. I'm fighting an injustice that occurred in Africa to my people.
For more than 5 decades, he fought by any means necessary to protect Africville. The African Nova Scotian community where he was born and raised was bulldozed by the city of Halifax in the 1960s in the name of urban renewal. His protest for reparations began in 1970 and would last the rest of his life.
A good part of his legacy is how we live on with that and how we carry it forward, and we carry his memory forward as a reminder of the past of Africville, but also the adversity of the community and the perseverance.
At times, Carvery lived in a tent at Africville Park, refusing to leave. In recent decades, a trailer on the property became a symbol of his fight. Carvery died at the age of 79. The original snowbird has weighed in on one of the woes of a Canadian winter. Anne Murray posted on social media that she's ready to fill Halifax potholes, which seem to have sprung up everywhere. Here's CTV's Jonathan McGinnis.
It takes some skillful driving to avoid some of the potholes around Halifax.
Well, you have to keep your eyes open, lest you go into a hole.
It's only mid-February. Crumbling roads are typically more of an issue in the spring. Mechanic Bill Hope says he's getting more calls earlier in the year.
Daily. There's a daily thing. This was a rear wheel.
Hope sees a wide range of damaged vehicles coming into his shop.
Flat tires are a big thing. Then you'll get bent control arms, broken struts, broken strut mounts.
And you know things must be bad on the roads when Nova Scotia music legend Anne Murray takes to social media, offering to fix the city's pothole problems. In a Facebook message posted Sunday, Murray says, "I'm going to get some sand for my car so I can start filling the potholes in the streets of Halifax." Motorist Carolyn Mont sympathizes with road repair workers.
I don't know enough about it to know how they can do anything right now with the snowplows coming by, ice in the holes makes them bigger. It's really challenging.
Some of those streets are scheduled for temporary repairs starting Tuesday. City crews will be filling holes on Roby, Agricola, Barrington, and North Streets. Cold patching is a Band-Aid approach used until more permanent work can be done when the pavement is warmer. Until then, Bill Hope has some words of advice.
Slow down. Don't drive after dark too much, unless you have awful good headlights.
City officials say the patching work will take place outside of peak times, but they are telling motorists to expect some delays and to take alternate routes until this work is finished on Friday. Jonathan McGinnis, CTV News, Halifax.
A maritimer has become Canada's first triple medalist at the Winter Games in Italy. Courtney Serow of Moncton earned the title yesterday after winning silver in the 1,000-meter short track speed skating race. She has 2 other medals, a bronze in the 500-meter and a silver in the mixed relay. Amazingly, Serow could also pick up yet another medal in the 3,000-meter team race later on this week.
Holy moly.
Yep.
Go Moncton.
Go Moncton.
Yeah.
Let's go, Courtney. Go Courtney. We're here for that. And we'll keep to this theme of the Olympics for this hour. So, of course, the Canada women's hockey team punched their ticket to the gold medal game, facing none other than, of course, the USA in that heated rivalry. But it was the GOAT of hockey, Marie-Philippe Poulin, that put that team on her back. So, yes, in the lowest margin win for a semifinals for Team Canada, MPP notched the 2 goals that would be enough to send them to gold on Thursday. She becomes the highest female goal scorer at the Winter Olympics with 20 goals in her career, passing her former teammate, Haley Wickenheiser, of course. Canada put up 46 shots, but only beat the Swiss 2-1. So it's going to be an uphill battle for Canada at 2:10 Atlantic on February 19th because that USA team is fast.
Yes, but Canada's got
We're faster.
Guys, I'm all about the team spirit, but I'm gonna have to go no on this one. We're guaranteed a silver medal at least.
I'd like to welcome you to leave.
Here's the exit.
I'm not taking that anti-Canadian.
I am so Canadian. Jen Gardner, who is on the team, she's wearing number 94, normally wears number 12. I've been texting with her while she's been in Italy. She's awesome. I love her so much. And she's the next generation, right? She's that young core with Daryl Watts. And it's fantastic to see that young core. But just the U.S. went completely young. And even watching the rivalry series earlier this year, they just beat the pants off of Canada, and Canada made 0 changes. So it's just, and they lost already 5-0 to them in this Winter Games as well.
Just kind of seeing you.
Where's the hook? Yeah.
But we have Marie-Philippe Poulin, so you know,
go Canada, go.
Yeah.
we'll wait and see how the game goes on Thursday.
Stressed.
I hope that you're proved wrong.
I hope I'm proved wrong. 1,000% I hope I'm proved wrong. I'm stressed.
Okay, well, enough of this negative talk here. We're going to take a break now. Maybe calm down, get a little more positive. Still to come this half hour, your national and international news headlines. And just after the break, Latavia will have another full look at the forecast. Here's a live look at Fredericton this morning. Still a little snowy out there. Hope your day is starting off great. Stay with us. Your Morning Atlantic. We'll be right back.
Happy Tuesday, Atlantic Canada. Welcome back. The time now is 7:14. Taking a live look at a very foggy start to the day over in McAdam. Minus 10 degrees early this morning. While the sun begins to rise, you'll be seeing a mix of sun and cloud. Clouds expected to clear near noon. Weather is brought to you by ALC.ca. We are seeing a cooler start to the day, colder than yesterday morning. As of right now, it is minus 14 degrees heading outdoors in Fredericton, minus 12 over in Charlottetown with minus 7 early this morning in Halifax, minus 2 in Sydney, minus 14 degrees over in Labrador City, minus 4 starting off your day in Corner Brook. We do have a special weather statement remaining in effect for parts of Newfoundland, central and northeastern Newfoundland specifically. This is for Wednesday morning until the weekend, looking at snowfall between 15 to 25 centimeters, wind gusts between 50 to 70. A winter storm warning also in effect for tonight until Wednesday night for parts of Newfoundland. Snowfall could get up to 35 centimeters of accumulation, wind gusts of up to 100. For our orange level winter storm warning, seeing heavier snowfall totals at around 25 to 50 centimeters, wind gusts of 80 kilometers per hour. Here's a look at our forecast timeline. A bit of flurry activity, around a 30% chance of it happening early this morning for parts of all 3 maritime provinces. That will clear out, leaving sunshine for the most part into the afternoon. For Newfoundland and Labrador, looking at a bit of flurry activity starting off your day. For parts of Newfoundland, we'll be seeing a bit of sunshine, so some sunny breaks into the afternoon before heavier snowfall makes its way over into the evening. We are also going to see a low pressure system impact parts of the maritime region, bringing some lighter snowfall our way. If you're wondering about snowfall totals, at around 1 to 5 centimeters of accumulation for parts of all 3 maritime provinces. For Labrador City at around 1 to 5 centimeters as well, and 1 to 15 for St. John's, Newfoundland. That's until early Wednesday morning. We will be seeing those totals accumulate even further. For our forecast today for New Brunswick, daytime highs between -1 to +3. Mainly sunny skies today. We do have a bit of flurry activity for parts of the northern region and specifically into the evening hours across the province. Prince Edward Island highs between -2 to -1. A mix of sun and cloud. Flurries arrive into the evening as well. For Cape Breton, eastern Nova Scotia, looking at mainly cloudy skies today with highs between -1 to 2 degrees. And then for the rest of Nova Scotia, lots of sunshine throughout your day. We do have flurries arriving for the western area into the evening with highs between 1 to 4. For Newfoundland and Labrador, looking at a high of -3 degrees today, a chance of flurries throughout your day. Same thing goes for St. John's, Newfoundland, but transitions over to heavier snowfall into the evening with blowing snow. Over to our forecast for Wednesday, the warmest day of the work week for the maritime region. Above seasonal daytime highs expected, but we do have mixed precipitation moving in for parts of all 3 maritime provinces. That heavy snowfall remains for parts of Newfoundland, and for Labrador, looking at the lighter snowfall. For Wednesday evening, we start to see the system slowly clear out in the maritime region, but into Thursday morning, still holding on to some flurry activity. So that's a look at your weather forecast. We'll throw things over to Stephanie.
Thanks, Latavia. Police in Rhode Island say 3 people are dead, including the suspect, after a shooting at an indoor hockey rink during a game between 2 high school teams.
Upon arrival, police were met with several people obviously inside the arena, and there was 2 casualties within the arena. The suspect was confirmed as one of those casualties.
Police received a call around 2:30 local time about an active shooter at the rink. Authorities believe the shooting was a targeted attack stemming from a family dispute. The game was being live streamed and gunshots could be heard in the background of the video. Back at home, the RCMP has completed its investigation into last week's deadly mass shooting in British Columbia. Tumbler Ridge Secondary School has now been turned back over to the local school district. Portable facilities are now arriving in the remote BC community to allow children to return to class. It's expected to take several days to set up the units with heating and furnishings. 5 students and a teacher were fatally shot at the school last Tuesday after the attacker killed her mother and half-brother at their home. The shooter took her own life as police arrived. A boost for EV buyers Monday. Federal rebates are back for cars assembled in Canada and countries with free trade agreements. CTV's John Valley-Rao reports on why the relaunch is refueling controversy.
At Canada's biggest auto show this year, a lot of the focus has been on electric vehicles.
I think personally, my next vehicle will be an electric.
With automakers plugging their latest models hoping the return of the federal rebate will rev up a bit of a sputtering market.
Every little bit helps. I'm not going to complain, that's for sure.
After a year-long pause, anyone buying or leasing an EV as of today can get a $5,000 rebate or $2,500 if it's a plug-in hybrid. The program only applies to vehicles costing less than $50,000 unless they're made in Canada. Some think that's too low, given how expensive EVs tend to be, though the number of vehicles in that price range has rapidly increased, with Transport Canada now listing more than 70 on a website. Now, while Ottawa and Beijing recently reached a deal to lower the tariffs on nearly 50,000 made-in-China EVs, none of those will qualify for the subsidy. Automakers are hoping the resumption of the rebate will put EV sales back on the road to growth. They fell from 15% of vehicle purchases in 2024 to about 9% last year.
So we're actually anticipating it to actually come back up now that the incentives are back, essentially.
Still, some potential buyers say they remain reluctant, concerned about the number of charging stations, particularly in rural areas. And some remain anxious about the range of EVs.
Just the range in the winter time. They tend to be like 30% less.
But many told us, despite such concerns, they are open to buying one.
We'll see where it goes, but yeah, definitely looking into it.
A subsidy proponents hope will drive more demand. John Benavelli-Rouse, CTV News, Toronto.
We'll take a short break now. Much more to come still on this Tuesday morning on Your Morning Atlantic. Stay with us.
Welcome back. What do you think of when you hear the term retail crime? Most of us likely think of shoplifting and see it as a property crime, but it's actually so much more than that, with a larger human impact that many of us may not realize. So Jim Cormier is the Atlantic Director for the Retail Council of Canada, and he joins us this morning. Good morning, Jim.
Good morning.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
All right, so retail crime is going up. How much?
It's going up a lot. And that's with some of the data that we're trying to flesh out as much as we can. Fact is, retailers are being stolen from at such a frequent pace that a lot of them just don't even bother reporting anymore. And so that's really sad. So, the numbers are showing, like, we're looking at well over close to $14 billion a year just in core retail crime, so not counting automotive, the retail stuff that you would normally think of. Over $14 billion a year just in Nova Scotia alone, and over half of it is here in the Halifax area. And that's only with the numbers of the people that are actually reporting it. We know it's higher because there are so many retailers that just put their hands up now and they say, people steal from me, nobody comes to help, and therefore why would I bother going through the paperwork of even trying to do the paperwork and try to deal with it? So we know it's higher. It's a real problem. We have retailers of all sizes that are being ripped off every day, every week, every month. And then there's the human element to it as well. You're a retail employee. You're dealing with this. You're coming into your workplace and people are threatening you. They're even physically assaulting you as they're just blatantly stealing in front of you. It's really become to that point where we've put our hands up. We need help from governments and we need more policing.
I mean, having worked in retail myself or in the restaurant industry, they always tell you to not chase after anyone who is stealing. Of course, a lot of us think of stealing a lipstick or a sweater from the mall as retail therapy, but that's not really what we're talking about.
No, there are policies in place that individual retailers have that deal with the person stealing a candy bar. They've been in place since the dawn of retail. Right. We're talking about organized retail crime. With the dawn of resale markets and with police resources being stretched, we have criminals that just know that, I have all the time in the world to just waltz in and waltz out. Staff are not going to intervene due to internal policies where they don't want their employees getting punched in the mouth. So people are coming in, they're stealing specific products, usually working in groups. That's the organized nature of it. And then they're using it and they're selling it maybe in a parking lot on the other side of the city a few hours later. They'll work a town like Moncton and then Halifax, Charlottetown. They go back to maybe central Canada. In some cases, they're coming from Eastern Europe and they're working the entire country. This is extremely organized and it's being used to, you're making money that goes to more illicit organized criminal activity. It needs to stop. And part of the thing that we're asking for is we need visible policing. We know police resources are stretched, but the provincial government's report from last year is calling for more beat cops. So are we. The city is calling for more beat cops here in Halifax and Moncton. So are we. wouldn't it be great if you actually had some visible police officer presence walking up and down Spring Garden Road, or one of the main retail areas in Moncton up at Trinity Drive? You could see more of that, and it doesn't have to be guns a-blazing. It's just the friendly neighborhood officer walking in, walking out. It's a visual deterrent, but you need staffing for that. We're not accusing police of doing nothing. They are overstretched. They need more resources. So we need more cops, and we need them on the beat in retail areas.
Right. I mean, there's so much to digest there. We only have about 30 seconds, but how does this growing crime rate impact the public?
Well, what it does is it creates basically a situation where you as a shopper might say, well, I don't feel safe going to that area anymore. So then that impacts everybody. So if the retail area has more people saying, well, I'm going to shop online instead because I feel safer, that impacts the tax base in those areas. It impacts the retail jobs. When you're shopping with people here, you're paying for those salaries and taxes that help your community as opposed to an online resource. So you need to have that feeling of safety that you can go in and enjoy those retail areas in your community.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for joining us for this conversation. So important. We will take a quick break and be right back after this.
Just ahead in this half hour, living their best lives. We'll visit Parkland at the Common to check out how residents can make the most of their golden years. That's coming up in this half hour on Your Morning Atlantic.
Good morning, Atlantic Canada. 7:32, 8:02 if you were in Newfoundland and parts of Labrador, and they were definitely living their best lives.
Oh, yeah.
And I love that for them.
Mm-hmm. Exercise is so key. When
Honestly.
you keep up with it, you just feel better.
Yes.
Later in life, right?
Later in life. I have a 94-year-old great aunt who still plays tennis, and she's like, I'm playing with the young kids these days. She's playing with 70-year-olds. And she's like, the young kids, they're going, just always been active, always, going on walks and playing a lot of tennis, and just moving your body, I think, is key.
Oh, yeah.
So important, especially as you age, starting now, though.
Yes. Exactly, yes.
I'm sure your great aunt would beat me in tennis for sure.
Oh, she'd beat me in tennis too.
For sure.
100%. Yeah. No, I'm terrible at tennis.
But maybe if we start now, by the time we're 94.
Yeah. Or by the time we're 70, then we can be the young kids playing with her.
That she's still beating us then, though.
Yeah, absolutely. Good day for tennis?
In some areas, yeah. That's really been the trend lately. A bit of sunshine for some, flurries for others, a winter storm headed to parts of the region. Same.
It's February.
Exactly.
It's Canada. We're in Atlantic Canada. It is what it is, right?
Exactly. It could be a lot worse.
We've
had a lot worse.
It's true.
Yeah.
Also, I found when I was over on the West Coast, it was just gray and depressing the whole entire time. Give me snow and weather and sunshine any day of the week.
Exactly.
Because you get less seasonally depressed.
Yeah, it's very true. Proven fact.
Yeah.
Well, it is cloudy over in St. John's, Newfoundland early this morning. Not too bad, though, starting off your day, -3 degrees. We do have some active weather heading your way, so keep that in mind when you are heading out. Flurries starting off, clearing into the afternoon. Snow into the evening. Here's a look at our current temperatures. -14 degrees in Fredericton, -12 starting off your day in Charlottetown, -7 into Happy Valley Goose Bay, -2 in Sydney. Taking a look at our wind chill, as you can see here, a cooler start to the day. Wind not factoring in for the maritime region, though, and temperatures will rise into the afternoon. Same thing goes for Newfoundland and Labrador. We do have a special weather statement remaining in effect for parts of Newfoundland, as well as a winter storm warning in effect and a orange level winter storm warning. So here's a look at our satellite and radar. As I had mentioned, a bit of flurry activity for parts of the maritime region. That will clear out, leaving a bit of sunshine this afternoon. For Labrador, looking at flurry activity as well as a bit of sunshine. And then for Newfoundland, flurries transitioning over to a mix of sun and cloud before snow and blowing snow heads your way. In terms of the wind for the maritime region, quite light in its activity, 26 kilometers per hour in Canso, 15 into Sydney and Grand Etang, as well as into Yarmouth, 19 in Halifax. No wind gusts to report. We'll take another look at your forecast just ahead. First, a look at your local news with Stephanie.
We begin with a sad and unsettling discovery. A Moncton man has found a woman's body in a bin near his home.
He was disturbed because he went to see what it was, and when he looked in, he saw an arm. He called 911 and ran in to get me because he wanted to talk to somebody. He didn't want to go through that on his own.
The woman's body was found at the end of High Street early Sunday afternoon by Graham Hill's roommate. The RCMP is now investigating the woman's death as suspicious, and the Major Crime Unit is investigating. Police say an autopsy has been scheduled to confirm the woman's identity and to determine her cause of death. The Mounties in Nova Scotia say they have seized cannabis and unstamped tobacco that was destined for Canso. Police say they stopped a vehicle that was believed to be returning to Canso from Ontario and found cannabis, cash, about 175,000 cigarettes, 18 bottles of alcohol, and magic mushrooms. The RCMP arrested a 60-year-old man and a 61-year-old woman who are scheduled to appear in Antigonish Provincial Court in May. The Susan Holt government will unveil its third quarter financial results today, and they're more anticipated than usual, but not in a good way. 2 weeks ago, the province released possible ways to save or make money in order to combat the rising debt. It asked for input through an online survey. Association Heritage New Brunswick has read between the lines of that survey and says it's concerned museums are on the chopping block.
Sets up the question about heritage in a way that makes people think they have to choose between healthcare and heritage, or healthcare and museums. You know, what's more important, hospital beds or funding heritage? And that's a very unfair way of asking a question.
The opposition believes the deficit is over $1 billion. The actual budget will be tabled 1 month from today. French officials met in Paris with a U.S.-based group that wants to move France's last 2 captive whales to a proposed coastal refuge in Nova Scotia. No decisions were made because French officials are still considering moving the orcas to a Spanish zoo on the Canary Islands, a proposal the Spanish government had previously rejected. The American Whale Sanctuary Group wants to build a 40-hectare seaside pen on Nova Scotia's eastern shore. They got provincial approval last year, but has yet to start construction, partly because it needs to raise about $15 million. French officials say a decision on the orcas would be made by the end of March, and their welfare and respect for local law would help guide the process. 80 years ago this month, a group of intrepid and no doubt nervous young women set sail from Liverpool, England to Halifax. It marked the beginning of one of the most unprecedented immigrant waves to hit Canadian shores. CTV's Nick Moore takes us to a new exhibit honoring Canada's war brides.
About 1,800 European war brides arrived in New Brunswick during the Second World War, most in 1946, but Doreen Lawrence arrived a bit earlier in August 1945.
We went to Newfoundland first because we dropped off a regiment from Newfoundland and then came on to Halifax the next day. We stayed in Halifax overnight at a Red Cross hospital. Red Cross was very good to us. Everything was so well organized.
Lawrence was a guest of honor this afternoon at the official opening of a new exhibit honoring war brides at the New Brunswick Military History Museum at 5th Canadian Division Support Base, Gagetown.
As my brother says, I'm a proper Canadian now.
It's a culmination of almost, 40 years of work that I've been involved with.
Melinda Jarrett is a nationally renowned expert on Canadian war brides and is the exhibit's curator, which also celebrates the strong bond that war brides formed in the years after their arrival.
Once those ladies got here to New Brunswick, they embarked on a new life. They started families, and their ultimate contribution to Canada, I think, is that they became good Canadian citizens. It's a story of passion, romance, love.
Today I have 3 of my 2 daughters here, and I have 3 grandchildren. So I'm very proud to have them here with me.
Recognizing a remarkable part of the Second World War. Nick Moore, CTV News, 5th Canadian Division Support Base, Gagetown.
It's nice to see such a big turnout, too, for the opening of that exhibit yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
Also loved hearing from Melinda, not gonna lie.
Mm-hmm.
She seems like she has a great storytelling ability.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so since I was chastised for my anti-Canadian pride earlier. In honor of Sidney Crosby getting a Canadian record, we're going to take a listen to another Maritimer who remembers Sid as the kid.
For like his growth and where he came from, just from being from the same place, and I grew up watching him. But one of my favorite memories is actually when he was younger. It was the first time I saw him play. He might have been 11 years old, 10 years old, and he was playing against kids that were 12, 13. And I had gone to the game to watch, to actually like study the way he protected pucks. My dad wanted to take me to learn from him. And it was like 6-1 in championship game with these guys that are 3 years older than him, and he had 5 goals and assists.
What do you think about Yes, Marshy remembers watching a young Sid play, and look at them now together on Team Canada. There is more Sid stories on TSN's Bar Down, but Crosby did set a record for most points by a Canadian in the Olympics that had NHL players in it. Canada, of course, finished first in their group and get a bye. They will play the winner of Czechia and Denmark in the quarterfinals on Wednesday.
Wow.
Now that's a team I can see beating Team USA.
I'm rooting for Canada no matter what.
Yes. No matter what, 100%.
Any sport, no matter what.
I wore my Sidney Crosby jersey all day yesterday for the women's team as well, and it brought them good luck, so they did win.
That they did.
So, you know, I just have to live in my Sidney Crosby jersey.
Yeah, you know, that's very sports-like, is the superstitions.
I have it, yeah, I didn't wash it from Four Nations last year. So we did win Four Nations last year. So
see, there's a little magic. The magic is in the threads.
Exactly. And it's from the Golden Goal Olympics.
It all
So my dad
ties.
gave me that for Christmas that year, and I, you know. So
the rest is history.
Yeah, the rest is history. We love it. Now, of course, we do have a great contest to tell you about. CTV along, whoa, never mind, we're going to our Move Morning Chat instead. When did you realize that you were getting old? I have not gotten old yet. I never realized it. But if you have, that's our question of the day. Text us at 10400 to let us know that the moment you realized.
Yeah, we're already seeing some viewer texts come in, so please send some more.
We love that. Now we have a great contest to tell you about. CTV, along with our partners at Kent Building Supplies, want you to enter the Kent Big Bucket giveaway. So once a month, we'll reveal a different prize in the bucket, and you have a chance to win. This month, the winner will receive a made-for-supply workshop prize pack. To enter, head to ctvatlantic.ca. The contest closes this Saturday, and we'll announce the winner on February 27th. Good luck.
All right, well, we've reached the halfway point in our show, but we'll hope you'll stay with us the rest of the morning because we still have so much more to come this Tuesday. Right after the break, Latavia will have another look at the full forecast and then living their best lives. We'll visit Parkland at the Common to check out how the residents are making the most of this phase of life. Stay with us. Your Morning Atlantic will be right back.
Welcome back. The time now is 7:46. We're taking a live look at Pugwash, starting off at -6 degrees this morning. Seeing lots of sunshine throughout your day before flurries arrive into the evening. So we are going to see a cool start to the day. Temperatures warming up a little bit later on. As of right now, -14 degrees heading outdoors in Fredericton, -12 early this morning in Charlottetown, -7 in Halifax, -4 over in Cartwright, as well as into Corner Brook. Taking a look at the special weather statement still remaining in effect for parts of central and northeastern Newfoundland. This is for Wednesday morning until the weekend. So we are going to see snowfall at around 15 to 25 centimeters, wind gusts between 50 to 70. A winter storm warning also in effect tonight until Wednesday night, looking at up to 35 centimeters of accumulation and wind gusts of 100 kilometers per hour. We also have an orange level winter storm warning in effect. This is for tonight until Wednesday night. The heaviest of that snowfall at around 50 centimeters and wind gusts of 80 kilometers per hour. So here's a look at our forecast timeline. We are seeing a bit of flurry activity for parts of the region early in the morning. That will clear out for the Maritime region, leaving either mainly cloudy skies to a mix of sun and cloud. Newfoundland and Labrador looking at a chance of some flurry activity. Could see some sunny breaks as well for parts of Labrador. Into the evening, though, we do have another low-pressure system making its way in, bringing snow at times heavy with some blowing snow to parts of Newfoundland, Labrador, looking at some light snowfall, and for parts of the Maritime region, also seeing some light snowfall and or flurry activity, taking us into early Wednesday morning. If you're wondering about snowfall totals, at around 1 to 5 centimeters of accumulation for parts of all 3 maritime provinces. Labrador City also seeing 1 to 5 centimeters of accumulation. Looking at 1 to 15 for parts of Newfoundland, will continue to pick up into Wednesday. Here's a look at our forecast for New Brunswick. Lots of sunshine across the province. Flurries arrive into the evening with daytime highs between -1 to 3 degrees. For Prince Edward Island, looking at sunshine throughout your day as well. Flurries into the evening with highs between -2 to -1. For Cape Breton, eastern Nova Scotia, a bit of a cloudier day ahead. We do have daytime highs between -1 to 2 degrees and pretty light wind expected right across Nova Scotia. Highs between 0 to 4 degrees for this part of the province. A mix of sun and cloud, flurries into the evening for the western region. For Labrador City, a chance of flurries throughout your day with a high of -3 degrees. 1 degree into St. John's, Newfoundland. Flurries will clear into the afternoon, leaving a bit of sunshine, but heavier snow expected into the evening with blowing snow as well. Wednesday's forecast, probably the warmest day of the work week, especially for the Maritime region. Above seasonal daytime highs headed your way. We do have a low pressure system, as I mentioned, bringing mixed precipitation to parts of all 3 maritime provinces. Heavier snow for Newfoundland and some light snowfall for Labrador. That's a look at your weather forecast. We'll throw things over to Parkland.
Come on in. This is where the action's at. We're in Halifax at Parkland at the Common. I'm joined by General Manager Danielle here, and we're going to talk about the amazing facilities at this new residence. First of all, hi, Danielle.
Hi. Welcome to Parkland at the Common.
I love it. For people who've never been here before, describe this wonderful place.
We are a newly open lifestyle residence for people who are 55 plus. We have options here for everyone. We're all about comfort, convenience, and easy living at Parkland.
Amazing. We're taking advantage of the Harmony and Wellness Studio right now?
Yes, we have options for wellness for everybody. You can join as much as you like. You can do fitness classes, social activities, anything you like, we have it here to offer.
Amazing. So behind us, people are actually getting a personal training session with Brendan. But you can train for a marathon here. You can do chair yoga. I think the whole point is meeting people where they're at.
Exactly. We have options for everybody, no matter where they're at on their journey. There are supportive living activities and tons of activities for people who are independent and want to join the real sense of community that we have here, where you're meeting a new friend, meeting your neighbor, and trying something new.
Okay, let's talk about what is available here. First of all, the pool is beautiful.
We have aqua fitness classes. We have a yoga studio. We're doing Pilates. We have it all to, get fit in the winter and make new friends.
And the pool looks nice and warm.
It's warm. It's a beautiful heated pool. You can swim independently, or you can join in a class.
Okay, wonderful. Let's get Brendan over here. I'd love to know more. Brendan, can we pull you away for a second? Sorry about that.
Great. Hello.
Well, hello. All right, so you run the recreation programming here. We talked about the pool. We talked about the personal training. What else do you offer?
We offer a variety of programs that really are tailored to the needs of the resident. We have a golf simulator. We offer movie nights. We offer social opportunities, live music, concerts, and really educational presentations as well.
That's fantastic. A golf simulator. It does actually look like a really professional setup.
Absolutely. You can go and golf at Banff, Fairmont Springs if you'd like, or all over Pebble Beach. You can do some practice or a full round.
Now, you seem to really love your job here. Why do you love working here so much?
I love working here because of the residents. Truly, they inspire me. I learn from them every day, and I get to really come to work and exemplify wellness and a holistic practice of wellness.
Wonderful. Well, Linda and Giselle are there. Well, they're resting right now, so we'll let you get back to them. But thank you so much.
Thank you. Yeah.
All right. So Danielle, if somebody's seeing this thinking that is for me, who is the ideal resident for a place like this?
Really, we want anyone to come in for a tour. There's options for everybody, and we're here to be a resource for families. No matter where they are at their journey, we have something that we can offer them. If people really want to learn more about wellness, I would encourage them to join us on February 19th from 1 until 4 p.m. It's our wellness fair where you can learn about recreation programs, all the services that we have to offer, and just come in, take a tour, learn more about Parkland.
Yeah, it's wonderful. I've only been here for a short time, but I am ready to fill out an application. It's amazing. Thanks, Danielle.
Thank you.
And we put all the information on our residents about the facility. But yeah, the event's coming up on February 19th.
Health and medical news now. Speed training your brain may lessen the risk of Alzheimer's and other dementias. It's one of the topics in Your Health with CTV's Amanda Debison.
According to new research from a 20-year study, this speed training appears to prevent or delay dementia by some 25% in people older than age 65. The speed training was in the form of an interactive computer game that tested the ability to recognize two separate images in faster and faster sequences. Meantime, an October study also found speed training may preserve a neurotransmitter that makes the brain more awake, focused, and attentive. While researchers work out the answers, experts say cognitive training is just one part of the journey toward improving brain health. A new study suggests pandemic disruptions to healthcare worsened cancer survival. The study, published in the medical journal JAMA Oncology, is being called the first to assess pandemic effects on short-term cancer survival. Researchers found people diagnosed with cancer in 2020 and 2021 had worse short-term survival than those diagnosed between 2015 and 2019. They couldn't definitively prove what drove the worsened survival rates, but say healthcare system disruptions were probably a key factor. Finally, even small amounts of daily movement can have a big impact on your health. Researchers looked at what happens when people move just a little more each day. Data was analyzed from studies that followed tens of thousands of people in the US, Norway, Sweden, and the UK. The research found that adding just 5 minutes of moderate to vigorous daily activity could prevent up to 10% of all deaths across the population. Reducing daily sitting time by 30 minutes a day was also shown to prevent up to about 7% of deaths for some. The findings reinforce other research that makes a strong link between physical activity and longer life. You can get more information about the study in the journal The Lancet.
Well, we actually have no milestones to pass along today, but if you'd like to see previously aired milestones or to find out how to submit one, visit our website by scanning the QR code on your screen. And a reminder that milestones must be received 2 weeks in advance.
All right, now we're going to take another look at our 3-day forecast. A high of 2 degrees today for New Brunswick. Scattered flurries for the northern region, clearing out, leaving sunshine into the afternoon. For Wednesday's forecast, a high of 1 with light snowfall across the province. On Thursday, 2 degrees with a mix of sun and cloud. For Nova Scotia today, looking at a mix of sun and cloud, flurries into the evening. On Wednesday, a high of 4 degrees with light snowfall. And then on Thursday, -1, a mix of sun and cloud, scattered flurries to Cape Breton Island. For Prince Edward Island, a high of -1. We start off with a mix of sun and cloud. Clouds clear into the afternoon. Evening flurries with a high of 0 on Wednesday. Snow transitions over to lighter flurries. And then on Thursday, -2 with scattered flurries.
The #1 morning show in Halifax. Turk, Megan, and Amateur Alex. And home to the biggest artists. Halifax's #1 hit music station. 101.3 Virgin Radio.
It's Tuesday, February 17th. Today on Your Morning Atlantic, suspicious death. Police in Moncton are investigating after a man made a disturbing discovery over the weekend. Your top news headlines just ahead.
And run like the wind. In this week's Pet Talk, folks from Wagon Wheels will be by to share their experience on how we can catch up with their gym on wheels. Those stories and more coming up on the Tuesday edition of Your Morning Atlantic.
Thanks for being with us on this Tuesday morning. It looks like a great day to get outside, but it's so nice. I'm excited to see the pets exercising this morning because it's so nice for those days though where the weather isn't great to take your pet out, or you know, for a dog maybe recovering from an incident. An older pet as well who maybe can't go for those longer walks outside.
Or even those pets that can't necessarily be around other animals, other dogs, right? So it's such a great need in the community, and Spencer's fantastic. So
I needed that when Winnie was a puppy and she had her witching hour every single night. That would have been a great thing, just like hop on a little doggy treadmill, right?
Exactly, burn off that energy.
The zoomies.
Oh, it was just that's why golden retrievers are so cute, because they're menaces when they're puppies.
Got it.
And they are adorable,
That's the key. That's the key to a golden retriever's success in life.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh, little Winnie. She's
so cute, my goodness.
And she'll be loving that snow that we still have left over today. And with the weather that we're getting tomorrow too, looks a little messy, but
it does. Yeah.
She finds a way. I'll be stuck outside there all day, I'm sure.
I think it's the worst for owners, because I've been slipping and sliding trying to get over these hills to take the dog out.
Not enough traction on any boots I own.
Yeah, exactly. So scared of falling down a hill. All right, here's a look at St. John. As of right now, minus 13 degrees. We are going to see sunshine in your area. For the most part, sunshine across much of the Maritimes today, but it is cooler starting off your day. Something to keep in mind when you are heading out this morning. Minus 12 in Charlottetown, minus 7 in Halifax, minus 2 degrees in Sydney and St. John's, Newfoundland. And then factor in that wind chill. Going to feel cooler this morning, but temperature is going to rise for the most part above seasonal for our daytime highs. Here's a look at Newfoundland and Labrador's wind chill. Going to feel quite cold, warming up as well. A special weather statement remains in effect for parts of Newfoundland until this weekend. We do have a winter storm warning also in effect for tonight until Wednesday night with an orange level winter storm warning. Here's a look at our satellite and radar. So we do have a bit of active weather for parts of the region, a bit of flurry activity that will clear out, leaving sunshine into the afternoon for the most part. We do have another system headed our way, though, into tonight and Wednesday. In terms of the current wind, all three maritime provinces seeing light wind today, 26 kilometers per hour into Canso, 15 in Yarmouth, Grand Etang, and in Sydney, with no wind gusts to report at this time. Taking another look at our long-range forecast just ahead, but first a look at your local news with Stephanie.
Thanks, Latavia. A Moncton man made a sad and unsettling discovery, finding a woman's body in a bin near his home. The RCMP is now investigating the death as suspicious. CTV's Derek Haggett reports.
A horrible discovery at the very end of a Moncton street has left this neighborhood shaken.
So when things like this happens, it rattles a whole community.
The body of a woman was found inside a garbage bin at the end of High Street early yesterday afternoon. Police are treating the sudden death as suspicious.
The officer inspected the garbage can and pulled the woman out to check to see if she had any vitals, and she was deceased.
Graham Hill's roommate noticed the garbage bin right outside his door and thought it seemed odd.
He was disturbed because he went to see what it was, and when he looked in, he saw an arm. He called 911 and ran in to get me because he wanted to talk to somebody. He didn't want to go through that on his own.
Her age and identity are not known, and no arrests have been made as of yet.
It's just getting crazy. Like, I mean, the town, the city, they have to do something, you know? It's between the drugs and violence, it's just getting out of hand.
The RCMP also conducted an operation a few blocks away early this morning in connection with the suspicious death investigation.
It's disturbing. We get a lot of homeless people around this area. So at the end of the road, we often get shopping carts and garbage that's been gone through, and that's what my roommate thought he had seen.
New Brunswick's RCMP Major Crime Unit is investigating. Police say an autopsy has been scheduled to confirm the woman's identity and to determine her exact cause of death. Derek Haggett, CTV News, Moncton.
RCMP in Newfoundland say a woman is facing an assault charge after allegedly attacking someone at their place of work. Police say she allegedly attacked the victim at their workplace after 5 p.m. on Friday, leaving them with non-life-threatening injuries. The Mounties say the alleged assault is an isolated incident and there's no risk to public safety. Nova Scotia has lost one of its most committed activists. Eddie Carvery passed away over the weekend.
I've got no intention on leaving Africa. I'm fighting an injustice that occurred in Africa to my people.
For more than 5 decades, he fought by any means necessary to protect Africville. The African Nova Scotian community where he was born and raised was bulldozed by the city of Halifax in the 1960s in the name of urban renewal. His protest for reparations began in 1970 and would last the rest of his life.
A good part of his legacy is how we live on with that and how we carry it forward. And we carry his memory forward as a reminder of the past of Africville, but also the adversity of the community and the perseverance.
At times, Carvery lived in a tent at Africville Park, refusing to leave. In recent decades, a trailer on the property became a symbol of his fight. Carvery died at the age of 79. A new report says Atlantic Canada is one of the best places in the world to construct offshore wind projects. However, the amount of energy the region could actually produce isn't as much as some politicians have been projecting. Nova Scotia Premier Tim Houston has been pitching a project called Wind West that the government says could produce up to 66 gigawatts of electricity if fully constructed. The report from engineering firm Stantec says the entire Atlantic region could probably only produce about 16.5 gigawatts by 2050. The new report says factors like ocean floor conditions, shipping lanes, and fishing areas limit where turbines can be placed. Over to the UK now. Downing Street's Chief Mouser is celebrating 15 years on the job. Larry the cat was adopted by number 10 Downing Street in 2011 after the UK government admitted there was an issue with rats in the building. The 19-year-old Tabby has since served under 6 prime ministers and is still healthy and catching mice.
Oh, look at him, living his best life.
Oh, yeah.
Every city needs a Larry.
Every city needs a Larry. We need a Larry.
And 19 years old.
Look at him, on guard.
So regal. I love this for Larry. Happy work anniversary, sir.
Many more to come, hopefully.
Many more to come. Oh, I love that. Thank you for that. We needed that today. Of course, it is Lunar New Year. So today we officially welcome the year of the fire horse. And usually to start the Lunar New Year, red is the color. However, you see none of us wearing red because 2026, like I said, is the year of the horse and a fire horse. And red is already at its peak. So wearing it today could push the balance too far in one direction. But that being said, Lycee packs, which usually have monetary gifts in them, symbolize good luck, energy, and protection against evil spirits. They are the red packages. So, ladies, I brought you a version since you told me that I'm anti-Canadian. Here's your lychee pack, and here is your lychee pack.
Thank you.
And then you get to see which Canadian hockey player you have
so
in your pack. So, you know,
Open it
me
up.
as well, if you can. Oh, they open quite easily at the top. So, you know, here's my Canadian pride for you. Oh, I got it. I got Aaron Ambrose, so we love that. And then I got Northern Stars Wayne Gretzky.
Ooh.
And I got Shea Theodore.
Ooh.
You.
Right?
Nova Scotia's own Brad Marchand.
Oh, there we go. There we go.
That's good. I also have, here we go, yeah, to look. Also have Wayne Gretzky. Nice shiny card there.
Nice shiny card there.
And Thomas Harley.
Okay, good ones, good ones.
I have Connor Bedard.
Great.
I have Steve Yersman.
Iserman. There you go.
Clearly, I don't watch hockey.
Classic. No, it's all good. He's a late great.
Yeah. And I have Seth Jarvis.
There we go.
Beautiful.
Seth is also playing in these Winter Olympics. So you both got current ones. I got Aaron Ambrose, who is a current one as well. So there we go.
Brad is going on my desk.
As he should.
As he should.
I gave you Connor back, but
for now.
For now, we'll see.
These guys are quite young.
All right, well, it is time for another break on this Tuesday, but we'll hope you'll stay with us. Still to come this half hour, a very high energy edition of Pet Talk. But first, Latavia's latest look at the full forecast. And here's a live look at Moncton this morning. Beautiful start to the day there, the sun coming up. Stay with us. Your Morning Atlantic will be back in just a few minutes.
Well, good morning, Atlantic, Canada. The time now is 8:13. We're taking a live look at Brookville. Sun is already shining. Right now it is minus 10 degrees in your area, though, so feeling a bit cooler. Weather is brought to you by ALC.ca, and as you can see here, it's kind of cold early this morning for parts of the region. Temperatures will rise a little bit later on, though. Our daytime highs being quite warm, above seasonal. As of right now, though, minus 13 degrees in Fredericton, minus 11 in Charlottetown, minus 7 degrees in Halifax, minus 1 starting off your day in Sydney, and minus 2 into St. John's, Newfoundland. Over to the special weather statement that remains in effect for parts of Newfoundland, central and northeastern Newfoundland to be specific. This is for Wednesday morning until the weekend. We are going to see snowfall at around 15 to 25 centimeters of accumulation, wind gusts getting up to 70 kilometers per hour. A winter storm warning also in effect for parts of Newfoundland tonight until Wednesday night. Looking at snowfall between 25 to 35 centimeters, wind gusts of up to 100 kilometers per hour. An orange level winter storm warning also in effect with the heaviest snowfall at around 50 centimeters and wind gusts of 80 kilometers per hour. So here's a look at our forecast timeline. We are going to see a bit of flurry activity early in the morning. That will clear out, leaving sunshine for much of the maritime region, into parts of Newfoundland and Labrador as well. But into the afternoon, much of the same, but we start to see some lighter snowfall move into parts of Labrador. Into the evening, we have a low pressure system making its way over, bringing heavy snow, blowing snow to parts of Newfoundland, as well as light snowfall for parts of the maritime region. If you're wondering about snowfall totals, at around 1 to 5 centimeters for much of parts of the maritime region, the heaviest being 5 to 10 centimeters into Campbellton. We're looking at 1 to 5 centimeters as well for Labrador City and 1 to 15 for parts of Newfoundland. For a forecast today for New Brunswick, lots of sunshine across the province into the evening, expecting flurries. Daytime highs will range from 0 to 3 degrees and pretty light wind expected. Prince Edward Island, highs between -2 to -1, a mix of sun and cloud, flurries as well into the evening. And then for Cape Breton, eastern Nova Scotia, mainly cloudy skies for the most part. Daytime highs between -1 to 2 degrees. For the rest of Nova Scotia, looking at a mix of sun and cloud, flurries into the evening, highs between 0 to 4 degrees. And for Labrador City, looking at a chance of flurries throughout your day, -3 degrees as your daytime high. 1 degree into St. John's, Newfoundland. Flurries clear out, leaving a bit of sunshine into the afternoon, but snow, at times heavy, with blowing snow, moves in into the evening. Wednesday's forecast, probably the warmest day of the work week, especially for the maritime region. Our daytime highs well above seasonal. We are going to see mixed precipitation move in for all 3 maritime provinces. Lighter snowfall for parts of Labrador and the heaviest of snowfall expected for Newfoundland. That's a look at your weather forecast. We'll throw things over to Stephanie.
Thanks, Latavia. We begin with some developing news this morning. America's famed Reverend Jesse L. Jackson has died. He was a protege of the Reverend Martin Luther King and became a leader of the civil rights movement for decades after King was assassinated in 1968. A 2-time presidential candidate, Jackson led a lifetime of political crusades. He advocated for the poor and underrepresented on issues from voting rights and job opportunities to education and health care. He scored diplomatic victories with world leaders and channeled cries for black pride and self-determination into corporate boardrooms. His family says he died today peacefully at the age of 84. The RCMP has completed its investigation into last week's deadly mass shooting in British Columbia. Tumbler Ridge Secondary School has now been turned back over to the local school district. Portable facilities are now arriving in the remote BC community to allow children to return to class. It's expected to take several days to set up the units with heating and furnishings. 5 students and a teacher were fatally shot at the school last Tuesday after the attacker killed her mother and half-brother at their home. The shooter took her own life as police arrived. The Pima County Sheriff says all of Nancy Guthrie's family members have been cleared as possible suspects in the 84-year-old suspected kidnapping. The sheriff said the Guthries are victims, plain and simple. On Saturday, the FBI found gloves in a field near Guthrie's house. Preliminary results indicate that the DNA on the gloves are from an unknown male. Forensic testing is being done to see if there is a match with the gloves worn by the man seen in a video outside of Guthrie's home. Now heading over to Italy, Canadian curlers can't seem to sweep away controversy that has plagued their Olympic tournament. On Monday, the Canadian women were accused of technical violations in their game against China. CTV's Garrett Berry has more on the unexpected drama for Team Canada at the rink.
A roller coaster week in curling that was kicked off by allegations of rule breaking and a heated argument on the ice still hasn't settled. at these Olympic Games. And at the center of it all, a technical controversy about how and where you can touch a rock as you throw it down the ice.
Once again this morning in Cortina, things got a touch heated on the ice. Canadian skip Rachel Homan was accused by Team China of improperly throwing her shots. Curling officials have clarified this week you cannot ever touch the granite part of a curling rock when throwing, and have stepped up enforcement of rule violations at these Olympic Games. It's a rare sight in curling, a sport that has traditionally seen players enforce the rules themselves in a spirit of sportsmanship, and very rarely has umpires intervene.
The first page of the World Curling Rule Book is titled The Spirit of Curling, and it's a lot of fluffy, poetic words about how, you know, yes, we have a rule book, but realistically, as long as everybody's just nice to each other, then the rule book almost doesn't even matter.
It was men's team third Mark Kennedy whose heated argument and cursing on the ice brought so much attention to this stone-touching scandal, but Homan was actually punished on Saturday night. An umpire pulled her very first throw from play. It likely cost her a point in a 1-point extra end loss against Switzerland. After similar accusations today, she said it has nothing to do with cheating. There's no chance that Canadians would ever intentionally cheat. I'd put my life on that. We don't do that.
That spirit of curling, the sportsmanlike arrangement that has long held the game in check, well, today Mark Kennedy said it's probably dead, and the quest for excellence in medals has pushed it aside. Garrett Berry, CTV News, Milan.
We'll take a short break now. Much more to come still on Your Morning Atlantic. Stay with us.
Move Mornings with Aaron and Peter. Weekday mornings on Move 100. The most fun in the morning. And home of the $1,000 minute. Only on Move 100 Halifax.
Welcome back. So sometimes taking your dog out in the winter has its challenges, and on this week's edition of Pet Talk, we have a solution because Wagon Wheels is here with us in studio, and it's the first mobile gym in Atlantic Canada. And of course, Spencer Fry is joining us again with the lovely Oakley.
Yes.
Thank
you for having me.
Look how happy she is. She was very excited to get into the van this morning.
Yeah, she was excited to get in the van, not the trip down. She's not a huge fan of car rides, but she's a huge fan of the van. So
Fair.
A little trick.
For those who don't know, what is the van?
The van is, so the Wagon Wheels is a mobile dog gym. So we basically bring these machines, which are specialized dog treadmills called slat mills, to your front door and run your dog. Sessions last around 20 minutes. Dogs usually only need about 10 to 15, and then they're good and last a little bit is like their cool down and kind of engaging with them and playing with toy and that kind of stuff. But yeah, it's basically right to your doorstep, canine cardio in 20 minutes.
Amazing. So it takes a lot to motivate me to get on a treadmill. How do you motivate the dogs on the treadmill?
So it takes training.
Yeah.
I do find around 4 to 6 runs or visits, sessions we'll call them, gets them comfortable. And that's just to get them comfortable. And then some dogs jump on right away and take off. Some dogs, I think the longest one I've had was around 25 runs to consistently run. But yeah, usually they start getting comfortable and they'll walk the first go, but then getting comfortable around 4 to 6 runs.
All right, well, she wants to run. It looks like she keeps looking at you like, Dad,
absolutely.
why aren't we doing this?
We'll see what she
So
does.
let's put it to the test.
Absolutely. Okay. Oakley, you ready? Ready? Here's your ball. Here's your ball. Ready? What's this? What's this? There you go. Come on. There you go. Good job, Oakley. There you go. There you go. Come on. There you go. Good job. Good job, Oakley. There you go. Come on. You got it. There you go. Good job, Oakley. Good job. There you go. There you go. Good job. Okay. That's it. Good job. Good job. There you go.
Oh my gosh, she loves it. She absolutely loves it.
It's her opportunity to let it all out. As you can see, she's part beagle, so she likes to howl at the same time.
Right, of course. As you do. I like to yell when I run as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
How did you even come up with this?
So it's not a new concept. It started in southern United States. I think the first one was in Arizona, where it gets too hot to walk your dog. And up here in Atlantic Canada, even though we do have hot temperatures in the summer, that's dangerous to exercise your dog. Anything over 20 degrees starts becoming dangerous for the dogs. But obviously, we have the opposite problem where 8 months of the year we have garbage weather, cold, icy conditions, slippery, salt on the sidewalks. So I said, hey, let's give it a shot here.
Yeah, and what has feedback been like?
It's been really good. The early adopters to it were dog owners that had reactive dogs or dogs with bite history that can't get out normally. They have trouble walking because they are reactive. But then also people that do dog sport love it because it's another opportunity for their dog to exercise. And then, yeah, I have a handful of customers too that have mobility issues. People waiting for hip surgeries that can't get out there and exercise their dog because of the icy conditions, or just in general because they might pull a little bit. And yeah, they've kind of reached out to exercise their dogs.
So how do people reach out to you?
You can find me on my website, wagonwheels@hfx.com, or same handle for Instagram and Facebook, wagonwheels@hfx. I'm not sorry, at Wagon Wheels HFX, sorry.
We have put that website on our website as well, but I think we should let her run again.
Absolutely.
Before
Sounds
we
good.
Go to weather, right?
Sounds good. Ready? Come on. Come on. Come on. Let's go. Let's go. Come on. Let's go. Oh, good job. Good job. Go. Come on. There you go. Come on. Here you go. Come on. Here we go. Come on, girlie. Come on. Here we go. Come on. There you go. Good girl. Come on. Here we go. Come on. Good job.
What a good girl. All right, taking another look at our 3-day forecast, a high of 2 degrees. We do have some scattered flurries that will clearly bring sunshine across the province. For Wednesday, a high of 1. We do have light snowfall. And on Thursday, 2 degrees with sunny skies. Nova Scotia looking at a high of 2. We have a mix of sun and cloud. Flurries arrive for the western area into the evening. On Wednesday, 4 degrees with light snow, and a -1 on Thursday. A mix of sun and clouds. Scattered flurries return for Cape Breton. Prince Edward Island looking at a high of -1. Clouds clear, leaving sunshine. Evening flurries. On Wednesday, 0. Snow transitions over to flurries. Flurries continue Thursday.
Football Frenzy. Coming up, we talk to a local CFL player on the growth of football and how youth in our region can learn from legends this March. That conversation in about 15 minutes on CTV Your Morning Atlantic.
Good morning, Atlantic Canada. The time now is 8:31. Thank you so much for joining us on this Tuesday. I feel like February is kind of flying by. Yeah, before you know it's going to be March.
Yeah.
And then it's spring.
And then it's spring.
Yeah.
We're springing forward soon, too, time-wise, correct?
Yeah, in March.
Yes. That's not till March?
Not till March.
There you go. There you have it.
So still some time.
Still some time away.
Exactly.
It's so funny. So having lived in multiple provinces across this country, which
we all have, actually.
As we all have.
Yep.
So we've all been on the prairies.
Yeah.
We've all lived on the prairies. When we were in Saskatchewan, it always confused me because I was like, they don't do daylight savings in Saskatchewan.
Yeah.
So it's like you're either with Winnipeg or you're with Calgary, and you're like, what time zone am I in? Like, especially trying to talk to your family back in Ontario or wherever else you are. You're like,
That's how I always feel with my friend who lives there. I'm like, am I texting you really early or just kind of early?
Yeah. I don't even care anymore. I don't follow it. I just text whoever, whenever.
You respond when you respond, and if it wakes you up, I'm sorry, put your phone on silent.
I used to do that to Bree, and she's like, you know, it's like early here. I'm like, oh, my bad.
4 hours. 4 hours. Oh, my gosh, it's stunning outside.
You would think it's summer. But alas, it's not.
Minus the white bits.
Exactly. So back row point, sun is shining early this morning. Many areas seeing sunshine as the sun has begun to rise. It is cold starting off the day for parts of Atlantic Canada, but temperatures will warm up a little bit later on. As of right now, -12 degrees in Fredericton, -10 heading outdoors in Charlottetown, -7 in Halifax, -1 in Sydney, -2 degrees for St. John's, Newfoundland. And then factor in that wind chill. So it is cold this morning, but as I mentioned, temperature is going to rise. A special weather statement currently in effect for parts of Newfoundland Wednesday morning until the weekend. We do have a winter storm warning in effect, as well as a orange level winter storm warning. So we do have some active weather heading our way, only dealing with a bit of flurry activity for parts of the region. That will clear for the Maritimes at least, leaving sunshine into the afternoon before another system makes its way over into the evening. In terms of the wind, though, going to remain quite light for all 3 maritime provinces. As of right now, 28 kilometers per hour in Canso, 19 in Sydney, 17 in Grand Etang, as well as into Halifax. No wind gusts to report. We'll have one last look at your long-range forecast, but first, one last look at your local news with Stephanie.
Thanks, Latavia. A Moncton man has made a sad and unsettling discovery, finding a woman's body in a bin near his home.
He was disturbed because he went to see what it was, and when he looked in, he saw an arm. He called 911 and ran in to get me because he wanted to talk to somebody. He didn't want to go through that on his own.
The woman's body was found at the end of High Street early Sunday afternoon by Graham Hill's roommate. The RCMP is now investigating her death as suspicious, and the Major Crime Unit is also investigating. Police say an autopsy has been scheduled to confirm the woman's identity and to determine her cause of death. The manhunt for an escaped prisoner continues in New Brunswick. 35-year-old Todd John Lewis left the Regional Correctional Center in Shediac on Friday by allegedly jumping a fence. Lewis is 5'7", about 145 pounds. He's previously been charged with weapons offenses. Police say anyone who sees him should not approach him and instead call 911. The Mounties in Nova Scotia say they have seized cannabis and unstamped tobacco that was destined for Canso. Police say they stopped a vehicle that was believed to be returning to Canso from Ontario and found cannabis, cash, about 175,000 cigarettes, 18 bottles of alcohol, and magic mushrooms. The RCMP arrested a 60-year-old man and a 61-year-old woman who are scheduled to appear in Antigonish Provincial Court in May. A showdown appears to be looming over the old Halifax Forum. It has been a fixture in the north end of the city for more than a century, and despite a growing price tag, at least one group is urging the city to redevelop the facility. Still, the mayor has said a more affordable plan is what's needed.
There is a way, if we let go of the Forum, that we leverage the value of that land to build a 2-pad or even a 3-pad elsewhere at a lower cost because it's new construction. And I got a ballpark estimate from a builder who builds these things yesterday that a 2-pad, depending on the bells and whistles, would be between 40 and 45 million.
There's over 400,000 people that visit this facility for non-ice related events every single year. Be that graduations, flea markets, farmers markets, bingo.
Municipal budget discussions resume at council this week. The original snowbird has weighed in on one of the woes of a Canadian winter. Anne Murray posted on social media that she's ready to fill Halifax potholes, which seem to have sprung up everywhere. Here's CTV's Jonathan McGinnis.
It takes some skillful driving to avoid some of the potholes around Halifax.
Well, you have to keep your eyes open, lest you go into a hole.
It's only mid-February. Crumbling roads are typically more of an issue in the spring. Mechanic Bill Hope says he's getting more calls earlier in the year.
Daily. It's a daily thing. This was a rear wheel.
Hope sees a wide range of damaged vehicles coming into his shop.
Flat tires are a big thing. Then you'll get bent control arms, broken struts, broken strut mounts.
And you know things must be bad on the roads when Nova Scotia music legend Anne Murray takes to social media, offering to fix the city's pothole problems. In a Facebook message posted Sunday, Murray says, "I'm going to get some sand for my car so I can start filling the potholes in the streets of Halifax." Motorist Carolyn Mont sympathizes with road repair workers.
I don't know enough about it to know how they can do anything right now with the snowplows coming by. Ice in the holes makes them bigger. It's really challenging.
Some of those streets are scheduled for temporary repairs starting Tuesday. City crews will be filling holes on Roby, Agricola, Barrington, and North Streets. Cold patching is a Band-Aid approach used until more permanent work can be done when the pavement is warmer. Until then, Bill Hope has some words of advice.
Slow down. Don't drive after dark too much, unless you have awful good headlight.
City officials say the patching work will take place outside of peak times, but they are telling motorists to expect some delays and to take alternate routes until this work is finished on Friday. Jonathan McGinnis, CTV News, Halifax.
It feels so early in the winter to be having like such significant potholes, but we have had so much moisture that, you know, it seeps into the asphalt.
It's
true.
It's like they always say in Canada, there's 2 seasons. There's winter and construction, except like this time they're overlapping.
Yes.
Yeah, for real. Feeling like Ontario these days when it comes to construction.
Yeah, and feeling kind of like the prairies when it comes to the potholes.
Yes.
I don't know what to tell you. Okay, so we did get a lesson from Spencer Fry about giving your animal the proper, you know, exercise, and animals need help with their weight sometimes. An Ontario Veterinary College is helping some pets shed pounds in a healthy way. So the college offers things like including a tailored diet, pet plan, and a workout plan, including water exercises. The college has helped dogs like 7-year-old golden retriever Leo lose some weight. He's getting closer to his goal weight of 75 pounds, but that looks a little bit less intense than what Oakley was doing earlier in the show.
Oakley was gunning it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, Oakley had the right motivation, but, you know, Leo's doing great.
Oh my
definitely more joint focused.
Yes. Yeah, well, again, when you're looking to lose weight, animals, people alike, you know, you have to worry about the joints and things like that, right? And water exercises is always recommended.
Fun, too.
Right?
I could watch him doing his little water workout for days.
Honestly, that, even like watching Oakley run, like, it's fascinating to me.
It really is. Seeing their joy.
I don't run like that.
All right, we're going to turn our attention over to the community calendar, highlight some events. So we're starting off in New Brunswick. You can enjoy an unforgettable evening of glow skating under the stars. So this event is a part of the Fundy Fest and will feature live music. You can come out and enjoy a night filled with neon attire, good music, and great company. Sounds incredible.
Yeah. Oh, here it is.
And there will be a pancake supper offered this evening in Summerside. Pancakes, sausage, beans, and homemade dessert will be served at 4:30 p.m. This will be at the Anglican Parish of St. Mary. For additional information, head over to, call the number actually on your screen or their Facebook event page.
Let's go.
And Knots and Knits conducts social sessions where fellow knitters can bring their own knitting and needlework projects, gather at the Maritime Museum of the Atlantic. This is a drop-in session. It runs today and on February 24th from 1 to 3. All skill levels welcome. Head over to the website for details. Right?
There you go.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
And if you have an upcoming event, send us the details. We'd love to promote it. Your Morning Atlantic at ctv.ca.
So much going on in our community.
So much. And for more community events aimed at the youth, you're going to want to stick around for our next interview. A local CFL defensive lineman is growing the game and the community with a camp coming up in March. Catch all the details next. Stay with us. Your Morning Atlantic will be right back.
Welcome back. The time now is 8:44. We're taking a live look this morning at St. Martin. Definitely seeing that sunshine early this morning, but it is feeling quite cold, minus 14 degrees in your area. Temperatures will rise a little bit later on. We will be seeing above seasonal daytime highs, but for the most part, a cold start to the day, colder than yesterday morning at least. As of right now, minus 12 degrees heading outdoors in Fredericton, minus 10 over in Charlottetown, minus 7 degrees in Halifax with minus 1 in Sydney, and minus 2 into St. John's, Newfoundland. A special weather statement currently in effect for parts of central and northeastern Newfoundland. This is for Wednesday morning until this weekend. Looking at snowfall at around 15 to 25 centimeters, wind gusts 50 to 70. We do have a winter storm warning also in effect for tonight until Wednesday night, seeing around 25 to 35 centimeters of accumulation. Wind gusts could get up to 100 kilometers per hour. An orange level winter storm warning in effect for tonight as well. Highest snowfall at around 50 centimeters, wind gusts of 80 kilometers per hour. So here's a look at our forecast timeline. A bit of active weather early this morning, looking at a bit of flurry activity. That will clear out, especially for the Maritime region, leaving sunshine this afternoon. We'll also be seeing some sunny breaks across parts of Newfoundland and Labrador, but we have another active system making its way over, a low pressure system bringing light snowfall to parts of the Maritime region, that heavier snowfall over into St. John's, Newfoundland, and parts of Newfoundland, and then into tomorrow morning, we hold on to that snowfall before it transitions over to mixed precipitation. If you're wondering about snowfall totals, at around 1 to 10 centimeters for parts of New Brunswick, 1 to 5 for parts of Prince Edward Island and into Labrador City, and around 1 to 15 starting off your day in parts of Newfoundland. For forecast today for New Brunswick, looking at daytime highs, they'll range from 0 to 3 degrees for Woodstock. Lots of sunshine throughout your day. Flurries arrive into the evening and light wind expected as well. Prince Edward Island highs between -2 to -1 rather. We are going to see that mix of sun and cloud throughout your day. Flurries as well expected into the evening. For Cape Breton, eastern Nova Scotia, -1 to 2 degrees. A bit cloudier day ahead. And for the rest of Nova Scotia, lots of sunshine throughout your day. Flurries for the western region with highs between 0 to 4. Labrador City, a chance of flurries expected throughout your day. We are going to see a high of -3 degrees. 1 degree into St. John's, Newfoundland, looking at flurries clearing, seeing some sunny breaks into the afternoon. That heavier snow and blowing snow arrives into the evening. So Wednesday's forecast, probably the warmest day of the work week, especially for the Maritime region. We are going to see a messy mix move in for all 3 Maritime provinces. Newfoundland seeing that heavier snowfall and light snowfall expected for parts of Labrador. Wednesday night, much of the same, but we start to see the system slowly clear out of parts of the Maritime region. Thursday's forecast, a bit of flurry activity remains, Brianne.
Well, it doesn't look like it's football weather, Latavia. Thank you. We have seen a major boost in football here in Canada. The Canadian Football League continues to captivate audiences, and we're seeing a push for flag football with the 2028 Summer Olympics introducing the sport. But we know we have homegrown talent in the Maritimes, and he's looking to bridge the gap. So, Isaac Ediami Berglund, I got it.
Yeah.
Crushed it. Joins us today. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thanks for having me.
So you play for the Montreal Alouettes, and you are a defensive lineman, but you're bringing some of that football to Nova Scotia, back home.
Yeah, we're running our first flag football camp, basics camp. It's open from ages 8 to 14 for all levels of experience. We're going to be bringing a lot of the guys from the CFL down here to Nova Scotia to kind of create that environment here and give the kids something to look forward to.
So that's happening in March.
March 16 to 18.
And this is the first time you're doing it in Nova Scotia.
Yeah, it's the first time I've been able to get back home and actually put together something of this magnitude. So yeah, it's the first one.
Why is it so important for you to give back to the community, especially where you're from? You do a lot in Montreal as well, but why is it important to get youth involved in football?
I think for me, growing up, I didn't have that role model, so I had to kind of become him. I had to become the guy that I wanted to be. And I think it's important to give the youth something to believe in, to give these kids a role model, somebody they can look at on the TV and, oh, I want to be like a Davis Alexander, a Tyson Philpott, a Lual, a Josh Archibald. All these guys that are going to be at this camp, these kids will be able to watch and to try to become role models.
Amazing. You started the Berglund Bridge organization. Why?
I really just started to kind of keep account of things that I was doing in the community and a way to reach out, to do other things within the communities that I was in. And whether I played on the Montreal Alouettes or any other team, I would always have a way to reach out to different foundations and organizations and be able to give back. And it's been so rewarding. It's opened up so many doors, and it's provided me so many connections. And I'm super thankful for that, and I look forward to more work.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's nice to have you in our region, bringing football back into focus. Why do you think there's such a push for youth in football these days?
To be honest, I think football is the ultimate team sport. I really do. And, you know, now with flag football coming around, our women's team, our women's national team is amazing. You've got to push, like you said, in the Olympics coming forward. It's a way to play the game that's a little bit less harsh on the body. You know, playing in the CFL, it's super tough on the body. There's a lot of maintenance that goes into it. So flag football allows for more people to be involved, and especially in the youth. You don't have to worry about the concussions or the major injuries that you might have to worry about youth tackle football. So I think it's great.
All right, so quickly here before we let you go, what can parents and kids expect coming to the camp this year?
I mean, if you know anything about me, I'm an emotional, passionate guy. You're gonna get the people closest to me, the best role models that I know in the CFL are going to be at this camp. We're also going to partner with African Nova Scotian-owned business, R&B Kitchen, to feed the kids. We're going to have some great gear, some great role models. There's going to be a lot of, it's going to be a high-intensity, fun camp. So I look forward to, we're filling up fast, so we have a few spots left. And I just look forward to seeing everyone in the community and create this connection. It's not going to be the last time, and that's what they can look forward to.
Amazing. Well, we've actually linked that to our website as well. Thank you so much for coming in and for putting on this camp.
Of course, Brianne. Thanks for having me.
All right, Isaac. Well, we'll be right back. Stay with us. Welcome back, 8:53. That makes me want to play flag football, I'm just saying.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, sign me up.
But I'm old. So that leads us to our Move Morning chat.
Yes.
Because we wanted to know, when did you first feel old? And we got a lot of great responses. So Cheryl from Quispamsa says, realizing I could no longer get a car that had the roll-up windows.
Oh my gosh.
I had a friend who bought a car with roll-up windows maybe 10, 15 years ago.
I love it.
That felt too late to be having
Right?
a car.
Oh, yeah.
A new car.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Really?
Yes. But no, that's
a good
you
one.
can't even say roll up the windows anymore.
No.
Kathy from Trenton says, I wasn't really feeling old until Amanda said it has been 20 years since she graduated.
goodness.
I did the math realizing it would be 49 years for me this year. Then my husband said it's been 20 years since he retired, and now we are both feeling old.
Sorry, Kathy. We're so sorry. You're not old. You're only as old as you feel.
Exactly. Sharon from Fredericton says, Christmas Eve church service when a former neighbor arrived with his children and grandchildren. When he introduced his great-grandchildren, that's when I knew I was old.
That's fair.
Time passes.
Yeah.
Karen from Wolfville says, it really hit me that I'm older than I feel when I came across an older photo of my boys and me. My older son graduated law school last year. Congratulations.
Yeah.
And my younger son has been in the Army for 12 years and has a family. Thank you for your service for your son there. Yeah, really just like seeing, I'm sure you feel that way, Latavia, with your boys.
Yeah, already. I'm like, what?
LJ from Middleton says, when my healthcare professionals became younger than me. Oh my.
Oh, that's
I think
super
mine's
fair,
like the
LG.
same age as me or younger.
Yeah. That's a telltale top.
Yes. Brittany from Weymouth says, when I started waking up to my whole body hurting, last night I twisted my back getting into bed, heard a crack, snapple, pop, so it must be official. By the way, I'm 34.
Yo, Brittany, I feel you.
I try to flip my hair and my neck cracked, so I get it.
I was doing something at the gym yesterday, and then all of a sudden, like, a muscle in my back just, like, popped, and I was like, oh, okay. Well, I guess that's it.
It happens so fast.
So fast.
It does.
Nancy from Paradise says, one of the first times I can define myself as getting older is when the cashier at the store called me ma'am, not miss, not young lady, but ma'am.
Yeah.
I was disturbed for days after that looking for gray hair and wrinkles. That happened to me last summer. I was covering a story, and it was a youth camp, and I'm hearing kids shouting, ma'am, ma'am, and I'm not looking their way because it couldn't possibly be me they're calling to.
You're not the ma'am.
Yeah.
Nope.
But it was. So I can very much relate to that. Brenda from Moncton says, I started feeling old last summer as I started having a couple of falls. My mind now still feels young, but the body tells me something different.
You know, Brenda, it be like that some days. I think the first time I felt old was talking to like the next generation of journalists and like remembering something from like the 90s or whatever, and they were like, what is that? And I was like,
yeah. We're not the young generation anymore.
Nope.
No, not anymore.
Not anymore. But thank you for joining us on this Tuesday. We've had a lot of fun on this show, and we will be catching up with you tomorrow. We have lots coming your way on Wednesday. So we're going to see the AUS Basketball Championship. So we're excited to talk to that organization. Always such a great turnout here in Halifax. So yeah.
One of the experts too at Allen Marshall and Associates about having tax debt this year too. So lots coming up tomorrow.
Oh yeah. Take care.